You're a winner. And you know what winners say. Fuck the losers who can't take a joke. Man the fuck up.
Well, it's another live stream from And Now Your Mama Knows. Guys, today is going to be cool. So we're going to cover some topics. I'm going to give away a game. It's going to be epic. So if you're new, let me just run down real quick that you see a controller in my hand and it says all-purpose champ. That's my gamer tag on everything from PlayStation to Xbox to Stadia to you name it. So find me in a game. And there's a lot of game talk on this channel. But then you see next, it's the master of vlogging. Guys, I have vlogged almost everything on my life on this channel since 2011. So just know every product I review, every movie I see, I review. My birthdays are all here, Christmas, you name it, my honeymoon, even my wedding, it's all on this channel. But when you see up top it says Cowboy, just know that when I got this cowboy hat on, I'm a natural born entertainer. There might be some dancing, some martial arts. Guys, you're going to get everything out of this channel. And that is what makes me the king of content. Because not only do I have a plethora of content on this channel, but I got every type of content you could think of. Now, so with that said, I'm going to grab a chair. I hope you guys grab a chair. Let's get the show started. And I'm going to break down everything we'll go over. And guys, you know how it is. I allow any of you guys to add topics or questions, so we could definitely take this ride way left or way right. So there's only two last things I gotta say. One, this video is gonna be epic. Cause I'm a cowboy. Oh man. All right. And with that being said, the last and most important thing I gotta say is if you have a show that's epic, then you gotta have an epic intro. So Bruce, will you please do me the honors?
And now your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon! Oh yeah. All right, guys. So let's go through the comments because I want to say what's up to everybody who showed up today. You know what? Let me do something. I feel like my light. All right, hold on real quick, guys. I feel like the light, maybe it needs to go up higher. Let me see something. Let me see something. I could be wrong, but let me just see. I know I'm going to do this and you guys can be like, nothing changed. That might be a little better. All right. So anyway, first things first, first person in the building. Shout out to my guy, William. What's up, William? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's pull up your comment on the stream. And I know I was reading that earlier, so thank you so much. And listen, you stay here for as long as you can. Leave when you have to. Remember, any person watching, you guys could jump in and be a part of the show because I put the link and it's pinned. So just click on that thing. It'll pull you in and join the topics of the show today. All right. So then we got to give it up for Michael Pannon. Mike has been around, man, since before this channel even started. I personally know him, and he's a very good friend of mine. So just want to thank you for joining in, Michael. All right, Rock is in the build, guys. The godfather of the Stadia community. Let's go. Give it up for Rock. Oh yeah. All right, cut it. All right, Sanchez is in the building. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Oh man, my personal friend, my very best bud, none other than Wilson. Let's give it up. Guys, here's what's funny. This person right here that you guys know, I'm going to thank him for not only commenting, but for joining the show. Let's give it up for host. That's on today.
Here you go. I wanted to shout out live. That's why I jumped in.
Fair enough. Now that you got your shout out, we appreciate it. All right. So thanks, Holtz, for coming on. Had to get rid of him since he got his 15 seconds of fame. Oh, wait, he wanted to be a part of the show. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I would have took 15 seconds and got off. It would have been the quickest show ever.
Yeah, right?
I thought we could have a quick draw. And that was it. That's the shadow news for us. Bye.
Well, speaking of shadow news, give it up for Mr. Urban World. Yeah. All right, cut that. Let's see. He said, who is behind this stream? Let's see what Rock said. All right. All right, let me just check out your comments as I get through this, and then we're going to start this thing. Oh, he said he banned Purple. Uh-oh. She might not be coming in today, you know? She might not know that this is going down today. What's he going on about? You talking about me, Rock? And guys, none other than the maker of chaos. And this is a good topic. All right, cut this. Come on, cut it. And hopefully Maker will join in via on here with Holtz and I, or even in the chat. But guys, remember, anybody could join. Just click on the link, just as Holtz did. As easy as 1, 2, 3, and you could come right on in. I did read that earlier, but I put this on the screen. Mr. Urban mentioned all the people he talks to. Good stuff, good stuff. Bruce is in the building. Bruce, I gave you a very warm welcome in. So let's do it again. Guys, the man behind my epic intro music, give it up, stand up out of your seats for Bruce Campbell. Yeah. All right. He said he's been talking about Shadow for at least 5 hours now. And you had us thinking the Shadow thing was going to be later on. Guys, give it up for my man, none other than Dre. Yeah, hold on. I think I was a little louder than that. Dre! All right, there we go. All right. I tried to get Ace to sneak in. That would be pretty cool. I'm curious what Ace would have to say about this. Yo, the coolest, sharpest looking groomsman in my wedding is none other than my brother from another mother, the Green-Eyed Bandit, Dave. Dave, I see you changed your name. It was DR Green Eyes the other day. Let me see. Hey, matey, should have read through your Discord on the show because we had a really interesting convo with some interesting topics made about okay, so I'm sorry about that. I was driving home from work. Can Steven hear me? That's going to be the new thing. I'm going to join in with you.
Did you check it out last time?
I didn't, but you explained the whole story to me.
Oh, there you go. And of course, because I narrated it so well, you'd have to watch it here.
I was good. But if you send me a link, then I'll have to dig for it. Oh, hold on. I was passing by. Chariot Man Gaming! Yeah. All right. I'm getting... Oh, F-Cat is in the building. Give a warm applause for F-Cat. He is a very vocal individual. And he just likes to explain why he likes cloud gaming and why he doesn't like cloud gaming. All right. The Green-Eyed Bandit. There you go. All right, guys. So today what we're doing is we will be discussing, and I kind of want to do a little verses, right? There's always, well, Stadia's going to die if this comes out, right? So I wanted to go over, not something's going to die, because I just feel like that's always a silly topic, but I wanted to go over GFN versus Shadow PC, because as you guys know, Shadow just unleashed some new info about a new tier they have coming to different countries. So we want to talk about it, but we want to see what does that look like for people who were, I guess, GFN supporters, or, you know, not supporters. Guys, listen, I don't want to get into the whole console and the cloud gaming war. What I want to say is, people as individuals, if you're a person who spent your money, not Holt's money or my money, and we like to group everybody together, we're rallying together. No, we're not rallying together. We're a bunch of individual people, and we might all have a similar interest. Okay?
Oh, so I don't need the pitchforks and fire. Oh, okay.
No,
let me put that up. I put it away. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, listen, I know you always got everything on deck. You had hats on deck. You had. Listen, I know you're the master of props, you know?
They call me Stevie Poppins. There's just a bag there and I pull it out.
There it is. Just, how does Holt have that? Yeah, so anyway, guys, so we want to talk about that. But I also want to, I might even play a little bit of what is it called? Skyline, City Skylines. I think that's what it's called, right? So that was weird to me that came out on Stadia on a random, you know, what, the 17th of the month. That was so random. So want to talk about that as well. And then I want to do this giveaway. So let's do this. I mentioned I would do the giveaway early because I didn't do it yesterday. So guys, this is what I'm doing with my Holtz. Tell them what it is, Holtz.
It is Now Your Mother Knows notebook and Now Your Mother Knows pen as well.
See what I did there? So guys, in my trusty and Now Your Mama Knows notebook with my trusty and Now Your Mama Knows pen, here's a blank page, okay? I'm going to draw a square.
I feel like I could be your lovely assistant. Ooh, this is the Now Your Mother Knows notebook.
I made that square really big. But here's a big square. As you can see, host couldn't see it the other day, but I can see it. That means you can see it. All right, big square. What I'm going to do...
You just said you just lifted it up and it sort of disappeared with the background, like, and your T-shirt. So it was like...
Oh, here we go. See it?
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
All right, cool. Big square. So I can see it on, I'm watching and I can see it on there. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to write a number, okay? And then you guys are going to have to pick a number between 1 and 20. Whoever get closest will win. And if there's 2 people with the same number or 3 people or 8 people with the same number, I'll do the same similar thing until I find the winner. So let me write the number first, okay? So now I've wrote my number. You guys see the square will look identical. I put it down. Well, all I do is keep track of your numbers. So starting now, guys, give me a number between 1 and 20. And we'll talk about some stuff. I'll go over the numbers and then we'll pull it. So let's see. William said I already chose the number 11, okay? My guy Will got number 11, right? Oh, you guys are jumping in there, okay? Look at Sanchez being clever. He put the number 5, right? All right, and Bruce, man, I hope you win. You've been trying to win for a while now.
Dave Green's Eye says that square looks so drunk. That's a good type of square.
Hating on my square. Torres.
Well, if you had Now Your Mother Knows ruler, it would have been perfect.
There you go. FCat said 420. Nope, not today. Not no 420. Chariot Man as number 12. Makers up in the building with 10. Remember, guys, you don't be changing numbers, all right? Dave got 7, and guys, here's what's cool with Dave. Just to participate, I'm speaking for him. He won the other day, but then he threw it up to the other 2 people that was closest or whatever it was. So it's kind of cool because he doesn't have the system, or he doesn't really play games that much, but he's doing it for fun. And if he win, he'll give somebody a second chance to win. So I don't know how much y'all like that. You don't like that, but I think it's kind of cool. All right, Simpleton is also going with number 7, maybe because Dave's a winner. All right, so William, I already got you with 11, but that's a cool little number. Yo, Windstar, what's going on? Geek the Sneaks up in the building. And Geek is going with number 6. All right. And Mr. Irwin said Dave gave me the game. Yep, he did. That was really cool. Nice of him. Wilson said, "Can I enter for Cali Fat?" Yes, you can. Go ahead. Yep. That will be fine with me. Pick a number, Wilson. That's really nice of you. So I'll put Wilson for Cali. Yeah, you got guys. This isn't, that crazy. We definitely don't have I definitely don't have a problem with stuff like that, So that is allowed. So pick a number, Wilson, for Cali. All right, let's see. I should have like a little timer. And once the timer get down, then we pick.
What, Mom? No, it's not the bingo. It's Cowboy doing a raffle. It's my mum. She thinks the bingo's happening.
Oh, man. All right, let's see. Can I enter for Chariot? No, you cannot enter for Chariot. Chariot is already here. All right. Wilson is going to go with 16. Okay. And Dre's in the building, the SBC legend. He is going with 6. This is great, guys. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 votes. Good stuff. Also, let's do this, guys. There are 19 people watching. Everybody, if you can, like the video. I believe that my channel has a lot for everyone, and YouTube loves to see a lot of likes, and they'll push out my content to more people. Remember, I'm a one channel that allow anybody in the audience to jump on and be a part of this. They can sit on here and eat like Holtz is. Holtz, what are you eating? Come on, you can't eat and not tell us what you're eating.
I've just ate a home baked scone. So it's like a sort of American biscuit, but sweet with raisins. It's more buttery. It's like very dense. Usually people have it with strawberry jam and cream with the cup of tea, but
so I got something for you. Sandy told me today that she's gonna make something today that she know I will love. So all the things all the time you guys see me have food on here, apparently she said it's gonna be something I'm gonna love. So I'm excited.
I'm feeling that it's mac and cheese.
I do love mac and cheese, but I don't think she would top out at mac and cheese. She might have something and mac and cheese. So.
Oh, so I get half a point then.
Yeah, you get half a point. Been hating since you faced RoboCop. Listen, you've been hating since RoboCop lost. About to hit up the Call of Duty Vanguard free. Oh, that's cool. I'm not no longer into Call of Duty, but I do, however, want to play. I hope it didn't end yet. I meant to jump into the Godzilla versus King Kong Warzone thing. That I want to see. Yes, you did like the stream before it even started. Thanks a lot. Wilskin biscuits. Wow. Crack and cheese. Winstar, how much is the 3070 you mentioned earlier? Okay. Well, guys, we're going to really get into that. It's going to be a great topic, and I'm glad I have Holtz here with me because Holtz knows a thing or two about GFN. Guys, just to let you know, I'm going to call somebody out real quick, and then we're going to see who won this. But let me hold on, Holtz. I got to do this. I'm sorry. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm a winner. And you know what winners say? F the losers. You know what? Chucky, let them know for me before I get into my rant.
You're a winner. And you know what winners say? Fuck the losers who can't take a joke. Man the fuck up.
The Cowboy isn't here to babysit grown men feelings. So let me say that first. And Chucky told me, okay, that I'm a winner. So F the losers who can't take a joke. So Vet Cloud Gaming, this is for you. So you were on Stadia Pro stream running your mouth about the Cowboy, and you don't realize that I always know somebody's that's watching everything. So somebody hit me up and said, Vet's on there running his mouth. So you know what I did? I popped in like, what you say? Now, I get it. This is what Vet was saying, guys. He said, oh, Cowboy's going to have a stream about GFN versus Shadow. He knows nothing about either of them. I'm going to watch this dumpster fire or whatever nonsense he said. And I will admit, yes, I never tried GFN and I never tried Shadow. But I would ask you this. Have a news reporter ever sat there and said, tonight at 10 o'clock, we'll be talking about the car seats and how they're letting babies fall out of them? That news reporter might not even have a kid. So how could they report the news? Newsflash, sucker. Because they could read a teleprompter or they could just reiterate what they've heard. Okay? So don't suggest I can't talk about Shadow and I can't talk about GFN because I never used them. I can. I could tell you what I've heard. I could tell you what I've actually seen. And I could tell you how much these tiers cost based off of what I've heard. But I also got my guy Holtz here to back me up. He's gonna know better than me. Before I even scheduled the thing, I asked some people, hey, would you like to be a part of this? Because you guys know more than me. Maker Chaos is in the building. He can easily write real quick. We all know Mr. Overworld knows everything about Shadow. So, Vet, I just wanted to say that for you. You're a loser, and I'm a winner. I make winning look good, and you make losing look easy. All right. With that said, I'm gonna bring Host back on here.
Yeah, but you can also talk about like how you're.
Let's get Host off of here. All right.
You can always be, bring your view in of being a potential customer, like what actually excites you about the service and what is actually turning you off of the service. Because of course, I'm pretty sure you like the idea of cloud and all these services. And at the moment, I'm sure you would love to try them all at a certain point, but it's all money and time and effort. But they have to bring something that you like, so that's still a few points.
And then my thing is, I always say my most important word, guys, hear me out. My most important word in the human dictionary, in the human language, is the word interest. It's more powerful than love to me. Because if I was interested, then I'll fall in love. If I was interested, then I might walk my dog. If I was interested, I might eat the scone that,
it's a scone.
Scone. I might go out and get a scone today if I was interested. All right. If I was interested in the story of Rock saying, Hope, Steven, can you hear me? I would have watched the damn video on my own. Okay.
Well, I've heard Holt's getting brought up so much, I feel like it's his stream today.
Hey, Holt, listen,
Scone, Steven. Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to express to Vet, if you're watching or if you're not watching or you watch this back, that yes, I get where you're saying that why is he talking about something he don't know about? But there's nothing wrong with me mentioning what I've heard of. And as Holt's elaborated too, is I can say if I'm interested or not. So anyway, with my little rant out the way, thank you very much. Also, Chucky, I appreciate it. You always got my back, bro. You always got my back. And he reminded me, you see what Chucky did? He threw in the thing now that I'm not here to babysit grown man feelings. I was like, you know what, Chucky, thank you, Chucky, because you remind me. All right.
I love the way you said Chucky's got your back while he's actually holding a knife in the other hand.
Well, I mean, you did see on my little intro thing, she was chasing me around with the knife. But we're cool, though. Trust me, we're cool. Anyway, but my wife just came home. And, guys, can I take a quick break and throw Host up here? Let me give my wife a kiss real quick. She just came home. She's not feeling good. She hurt her back at work. So just hold on. I got to do my husband duties, okay?
Oh, that's very sweet. Honey, I'm home. I'll have to get up, give a bit peck on the cheek. I hope everyone does that. So we're looking forward to the news. Did anyone actually pay attention to it? Or is it something that I never had any hope in Shadow anyway? Chucky's dead.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. Ugh, man. Woo. All right. So, I'm back. All right. All right. Anyways, let's get through this chat and let's see what the people are saying before we get right into this. All right. Hold on. We got coming up red hot in the building is none other than F Cat. Give it up for him. Let's see if we can hear you today. All right. Cut that.
Yo.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear today.
Now.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's see real quick.
I had to reboot my computer.
Okay. Good stuff, man. We can hear you. Let me see. So Windstar was answering, or Mr. Urban asked him about the whole PC thing. He said Shadow's $45 a month. So we're going to get into that. Here's the thing. He said, Windstar said, I bought a 3070 Ti 6 months ago for $1K. I'm selling it for $500 to someone this weekend because it's my buddy's friend. Also, they are about $750 now. Okay. So you lost a little on that deal, but you did a good thing. All right. So before I get into the crazy GPU stuff, let me see. I'm gonna ask you guys all what you think and everything. Yeah, GPU costs are going down, thankfully. That's pretty cool. Maker said that. And let me see. Windstar, so do you think it's better buy than 70, 80, for $870 for pay $45 a month. So I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on that, but we're gonna get through it. I want to get to hear from Kat. I also want to hear from Holtz. So I'll actually let you guys say something first. Let me just get through the chat real quick. And also, if you guys got a question, you want to specifically hear us answer a question, let us know. I swear I heard one dead or alive. Because you heard, because I'm a cowboy. Host, where you at, man? You're supposed to follow up with that.
Dead or alive.
No, on a steel horse I ride. Now.
Because I wanted dead or alive.
Dead or alive. All right. So, yeah. GFN versus Shadow. Yes, that's what we'll be discussing. All right. So, but before we do that, guys, we have to find out who won the raffle. So let's find out who won the raffle first, as you guys are getting it in with this whole soon-to-be 1440p mobile. Chucky is, hey, what are you saying about Chucky? Let's just calm that down, Sanchez. All right, I am getting to the end of. All right, I'm sorry, gotta go. Hey, not a problem, William. Thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming by, brother. Let me see. Oh, wait, this is for me. So now your mama knows not to choose size here, but it's good to have the experience on playing on a specific platform like you actually tried it. The story might be more appealing. Hope that makes I definitely get that. But this is the thing that's different. Oh, let me back up to Torres. I'm a Torres. Let me hear me out real quick. This is the difference about this channel. Guys, Torres, now I'm speaking to you, Torres. I am the all-purpose community champion, okay? This thing called a Now Your Mama Knows is kind of like saying, I got this iron, and then now your mama knows. So I'm speaking to all of you guys, right? But Holtz could say, I was eating scones today.
Scones. That's it, Sandy. I heard Sandy get it right.
All right. So Holtz could say, I was eating scones today. Holtz.
Which I was, home baked.
No. Holtz, you're supposed to say.
What was I supposed to say?
And now your mama knows.
And now your mama knows. There you go.
Exactly. So Holtz is letting you know, and your mama, that he was eating scones, right? And F Cat might say, listen, I had to reset my PC, but I'm on here. And what is it, F Cat?
Yeah,
I mean, and his name isn't going right. You're supposed to say, and now your mama knows.
I feel like I should have said, now this scone is epic. Now your mother knows.
Okay,
don't mind me.
But what I'm trying to say is, I don't want you guys to ever think that like, you know, when some people have their streams, right? And they're coming at you from, they know everything and you guys are just listening. No, this is our show. I'm just going to tell you what I know or what I think, right? And I clearly said I never played either. But I do want to give my opinion based off of what I've heard. I think that's fair. So, and anyone could say, no, I got it. It doesn't do that. And I say, cool, right? So I think I do get, if you played something, you tried something, you would have more experience to speak from it. But I'm not speaking from experience as if I played something or tried it. I'm speaking from experience from a consumer who may possibly want to, right? And the thing is, I'm allowing all of you to have your own say so. So Torres, the link, my brother, is pinned to the chat. You could click it and be like, whoa, I played it. This is what I got to say. So that's all I'm saying. I love being able to allow anyone to have a voice. So don't ever think, oh, Cowboy was saying this and that. No, I'm just saying what I think or what I heard, but you guys are always able to check me and even jump in and speak it, right? So I'm going to try not to act like I know everything. I'm just going to speak on what came across to me. All right.
So I've played GFN a lot. I've played GFN since the beta. And I don't know too much about Shadow, though. All I know about Shadow is it's basically just a virtual PC.
Right.
And you can play anything like Blizzard and whatnot and everything that isn't on GFN. That's about all I know.
All right, well, we're gonna discuss it. So let me do the raffle though. Let's get to the raffle. Yeah, so Callie, Wilson did pick a number for you. Yeah, which was number 16, as he said. So just so you know, you are in the drawing. And Vet is in the building. Vet Cloud Gaming is in the building. Vet, I just had to spaz out on you earlier. So if you want to rewind it, or if you've seen it or not, I'd give you my 2 cents for you trash talking me earlier. This entire channel is about the Cowboy and Now Your Mama Knows and speculation service, unless it's stated. I don't know, bro. You might want to go back to your Thursday night show I called Speculation Station like a year ago. That's what y'all do over there. But nah, it's all good. You know me, guys. I love this whole stuff. So if you guys got something to say, I live for it. But I'm trying to be a good cowboy. This ain't the old cowboy that hosts remember. My host was like, what? You trying to invite me on the show? I don't know about that. This ain't the... Tell him, host, I'm not that guy anymore.
He's not that guy. He's more the fun-loving cowboy. Like I said, tip him off. He's like the whole... No, calm. That's what we say. We have to say to cowboy, the sun goes down, cowboy. The sun goes down.
Exactly. Calm. But Vet is about to pull that tide out of me. All right, anyway, guys, so... let me do a raffle real quick. So, Wilson, no, not Wilson. William. I should have put William. I put Will. Will picked 11. Sanchez picked 5. Bruce got 17. Torres got 13. Chariot Man got 12. Maker got 10. Dave got 7. Simpleton got 7. Geek the Sneak got 6. Wilson picked number 16 for Callie. And Dre had number 6. Is anybody else joining in or forever hold your peace? I think Chariot Man. Oh, no, Chariot Man is in there already. So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. And after the minute, I am going to tell you who is the winner. Okay? So you got 1 minute to join in. Let's do it. All right, I wasn't really going to do that. Well, mentally, I'm keeping a minute.
I was shaking my head going, please don't do a countdown for 1 minute.
I was just playing. Okay, so what is it? Desrado got number 1. Okay. Last minute. I think I just butchered that too. I said Desrado. Whatever. Not whatever, but.
Do you know what? Why we actually got 1 minute and I've not seen numbers? I'll just throw my hat in. I'll go for number 13. I'll just say it on stream.
13?
13.
Why? Because I was born on the 13th?
No, I just thought because you're unoriginal. Like, because the 13th come up, just game Friday the 13th, blah, 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 blah. So.
All right, Holtz has 13. And there's 1. All right, and Vet says Shadow allows you to access a full window computer in the cloud on any device. Shadow is not just gaming. This is true. I mentioned that in my Discord earlier. But
yeah, and you can even turn it into Windows 11 if you want to, and do all kind of stuff with it.
All right, so let me do this, guys. Let me pick the Windows. I gotta get this thing down. All right. So drum roll, please. This thing needs a drum roll. But when Vet came in the building talking that trash, this is what you heard. All right. So, guys, the person who won, as I show you the number, before I call it out, let me make sure. Okay, I see it. Guys, look at the number. Number 19. And the person who was closest was none other than Bruce. Unleash the baby god dragon, because Bruce picked number 17. Guys, give it up for Bruce. Yeah. All right, Bruce, you won a copy of Mad Streets today. I will give it to you in Discord, because I know you have a Discord, and I know I can find you on Discord. All right, so let me copy this code real quick, guys. Just hold on. Let me give my guy Bruce the game. You know, the only thing I don't like is you have to track people down on this, man. I don't have a search in Discord. So I could just find the person. You gotta actually click message, and then you gotta like scroll till you find a name. That's pretty stupid. Hey Bruce, do me a favor. Just write me on Discord, and I'll respond to you. So let me let you do a little bit of work. Oh no, wait. I think I could just find you in my Discord, and then I could click on your name. All right, hold up. Even faster. Oh, I see y'all putting the food in the Discord. Man, I was missing a lot on my way home from work. All right. Bruce. All right, guys, we're about to get into this topic. Let me put Bruce, and let me click on his name. Let me click on message, and here you go, Bruce. Bam! There is your code. I put it in Discord. You're the proud winner of Match Streets. Now when we play, you could jump in with us and have some fun. All right. So with that being that, everybody's talking about Shadow and we're talking about GFN. And the reason why I brought this up is there's a lot of times something happens and it's always, well, this is going to kill Stadia, right? Oh, wait, I'm still on the screen. Sorry. So it's always this is going to kill Stadia, right? And what's interesting, I'll keep Holtz over there and I'll stay over here. We'll let F be in the middle. What's interesting is people instantly was like, oh, is this going to be better than GFN? I'm like, wow, that's so crazy because we always do that, right? So I figured, well, let's do a versus, right? Because GFN would be a good competitor for Shadow, or Shadow would be a good competitor for GFN, right? Being that they're both kind of caters to a PC crowd, right?
The thing I heard about Shadow, Cowboy, is that they're bankrupt or something like that.
No, they filed for bankruptcy last year, but then they actually got the host, did another company buy them, or
another bought them out and then actually sort of rebranded, done a reshuffle, and like this is their attempt of sort of rebranding Shadow the second time now.
Yep.
Okay. But y'all know Boosteroid actually launched today.
Yes, I did see that news too. So we can talk about that in a little bit. So here's the thing with Shadow. I think what bothered some people was what we're talking about is when they were going to be bankrupt, before they was bankrupt, their highest tier was only $15 a month. So when
the highest tier wasn't. They actually had a base, ultra, and infinite tier, but because they couldn't deliver on other tiers because of the data centers and stuff like that, and the parts restrictions, they only offered the basic to a lot of people. That was $15. When I joined Shadow, I was always amazed by the possibility that I wanted the infinite tier. So at that time, I think it was a 2080, and I was like, oh my god, I would pay that price to have that virtual PC in the cloud, 1 gig down, that much storage, and it'd be amazing. But then they never offered me that tier, so I was like, okay, well, I'm happy to have the base of 15 until the next tiers come. But then over time, it looked like they were so well good with their marketing. I still believed in it, and I was waiting. Then I got that bad news that the other tiers are not coming to the UK. And then the bad news came, they're not coming to the United States, and then they were filed for bankruptcy. So I went, I just lost so much.
So the only tier you were able to purchase was $15.
Some people, the majority of people only got the base, but some people actually did get access to the higher tiers if you joined early on.
Okay. So the base tier that was 15, when they filed for bankruptcy and when they came out of it, that ended up doubling to 30, correct?
Yes, that's the tier that doubles, yes.
Right. So that doubled to 30, so that bothers some people. Even Mr. Urban, which is our resident Shadow lover, I believe he even canceled his Shadow. But the news today, so we're just going down memory lane, but getting to the news, let's speed it up, that they're adding a new tier, which is going to be a 3070, and it's going to be, they're adding $15 on top of that, making it $45, correct? All right. See, Vic, you see how it goes? I got an expert in here, and I get to ask him questions to make sure I know what I'm talking about. All right. So Holtz, let me ask you on Kat. So Holtz, because I'm not going to speak for it. Well, I will speak for it, but what's your thoughts when you heard the actually, could you let us know all of what else they're offering if you would check it out?
What I was going to say is that it depends, because it's a customized package. You can start adding more storage, and you can add more RAM if you wanted to, and stuff like that. Makes it more accessible to the person who actually wants the virtual PC. To me, once I actually heard about a 3070 at $45, I was actually saying, "Ooh, I could work with that." If I was actually going to do my PC work on it. But from a gamer, I'm like, okay, it's not very competitive if I've got a service like GeForce Now. So I was in two minds, but it's definitely how you actually want to tackle this. To me, I thought Shadow coming out, offering that magic 30 tier GPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and having options to have an AMD chipset and stuff like that, actually does cater for a lot of people that actually wants this type of service. So I think at the moment they're doing great, and like I said, it's pre-ordered at the moment, so let them people that love all tech and fusion run out, buy it, and then we'll see them slowly, gradually bring more tiers and stuff to the general person, I guess. Because I was worried at first. I thought they were going to focus more business heavy than consumer heavy, but now it looks like that they've come out with the right messaging. Cool. For me, should I say.
Now let me ask you this, because you also you actually have GFN. Because I did title it Versus, right? So if you had to choose, whatever your case is, so that's the thing we do have. Vet had a good point. Is you get so much more with Shadow, right? It is also a PC. So it's like my folding phone. I always tell people, if you're not going to use the small screen, then it's not for you. Don't buy it. If you're only going to be like, oh, look how big the screen is, then I don't think it's worth it. But if you're going to be like, oh, man, I could use the one-handed mode and text every now and then. Like, I only record videos like this. I don't use the big screen to record videos. I very rarely do that, right? So I feel like if you're going to get Shadow just for gaming, then maybe it might not. Maybe you might feel the heavy price. But if you're going to use it for as a PC and gaming, then maybe the 45 isn't that bad. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's exactly it, because you're getting a full-on PC, so that means every single platform service client on PC is available to you. So all them games are available to you, where GFN has only a handful of libraries. So it's very hard to compare the two on the gaming side, because like I said, GeForce Now is offering 3 games and 2 different tiers. Base and then the 3080, where they're offering you a full-on PC. So it's very hard in my mind to compare the two. That's why I was focusing on like naming the person that you are to use the service. So if you're a PC guy and you want full access to everything, and you can access this Shadow on a TV, an Apple device, an Android device, you can connect it to dual monitors and stuff like that, this is going to be amazing things for you. But if you're just a gamer and you're just happy with what GeForce offers, then I feel like for bang for buck, having a 3080 for $15 is actually amazing also.
I mean, those are really good points right there. And I think Vet, I know you wrote this before, but I think Holtz did just cover that. Because yes, it is $45, but like we stated, if you're going to utilize for everything, imagine if you're a person who edits. Imagine if you was a person who do a bunch of other things. I think that might be good. But FCAT, I want you to get in there, but real quick before you do.
To me, the way I saw it when I was going to jump originally on Shadow Infinite, I always thought if I was going to a shop now and buying the PC, how much would the PC cost? And then I'll divide it by the $45 and see how long I can actually get the service before upgrading. So to me, a 3070 PC here will cost £1,500, give or take, yo between the storage, and I can get GeForce Now for like nearly under 3 years. So to me, to have that flexible of less maintenance, low power consumption, no noise, no heat, and I can play it on any device and take this PC everywhere, it is well worth it if I never already had a PC. Okay. So for a lot of people that actually want this power hungry device and you've only got a set amount of money, it is definitely for them.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. But let me bring in at this time none other than the maker of chaos And Maker, I know this might be hard for you because you're going to be in here and you're going to want to say Shadow's going to kill Stadia, but we're not even talking about Stadia today.
No, I don't think it's going to kill Stadia.
I was just saying. So let me, hey, Kat, so what's your thoughts? I know you not that super well versed in both, but from a consumer that hears the GFN, hears Shadow, just from what you've heard, what's your standpoints on this, the whole, whole thing between both? You could be taking a commercial break. So Maker, jump on in there.
Like if you need a remote PC, I think it's a decent deal, especially I think if you're doing kind of like more intensive type stuff and you need a higher end rig, I think it's good. Or even if you want a game and you don't want to upgrade for a high cost, it's for a relatively low cost you can get access to a PC, and that's pretty good. My biggest complaint with the service is when you sign up for the service, you're tied to a data center. So let's say I want to go to New York and visit New York. My data center is over in Texas, so the distance gets longer if I travel. So that's definitely not a great thing. And I have troubles with the service regardless because I live in Georgia and my nearest data center is in Texas, which is pretty far away.
Okay.
It's halfway across the country. Which is that's not a great thing, it being so far.
Yeah. Can one of you guys, real quick, Maker, I don't want to pass it, and the Holtz might be doing it now. Can somebody answer Dre's question? Say, can you cancel when you want, like use it between PCs for a month or so?
Yeah, of course. It's a monthly subscription, so when you sub, you have to pay on the sub date, and then it renews every month.
Okay. What about Mr. Urban World, Maker? He said pros of Shadow, fiber, right? He said 1 gig connection included, can resume on any device similar to Stadia, turns PS Plus into a cloud service that works on any device, enhance other cloud services, works with VR. What's your take on all of that, Maker?
I know the VR is in beta. I will say it's very heavily latency dependent. While I could use Shadow, I could access applications and do stuff like that. Whenever I would try and run a VR game, it was so laggy. I had a horrible time with the VR section of it. Granted, it's going to vary depending on where you are, and I already said that I'm far away. I honestly don't know why they don't have an Atlanta data center, especially since Atlanta, Florida, there's a lot of pretty popular.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do I got next?
That's my problem. I think they need more data centers.
Okay.
Okay, so you already know what I'm going to say, Cowboy.
Well, here, hit me with it.
Stadia and GFN got free tier. I mean, nothing can beat that.
Which Holtz left out, by the way.
When you talk about Shadow to me, I start thinking about the other little ones like Vortex, Boosteroid, NetBoom and whatnot, all these little ones.
And I would like to say I didn't miss out because when I was talking about GFN, I said they offer free tiers, free base.
Oh, because I thought you said you were like they got 2 tiers, the lower tier and the 38.
Didn't I mention free? No.
No, at that point you left it out. But Dre said, can it play all games, Mr. Herbero, like anti-cheats?
And anything that PC can do, Shadow PC can do. So you can, but they sort of don't want you to actually emulate stuff on there. They don't actually want you to put another virtual PC on it, or they don't want you to actually run certain emulations, but you can actually be flagged on your computer. They want you to sort of fair use it, not actually do some, weird stuff with the PC.
And it's fitting that I pulled up that Vet was asking for, could we hear more whole soothing voice? And so, you know, there you go.
And I would like to mention that if you wanted to, you could actually leave this Shadow PC on for 24 hours. There's no actually, you pay a monthly fee and you can keep it on as long as you like.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because GFN has an 8-hour, I always forget that, an 8-hour, I don't know how you word it, but a play. And then, you know, you can start it back up after the 8 hours, but still. It's up to 8 hours.
So like people like if you want to measure like max settings and stuff like maximum settings, stuff like that, they go, oh, I'm paying for the usage, and you go, oh no, this one is, you can sort of unlimited use as long as you pay your monthly sub.
Right. So let me jump in there real quick. So I think if you were heavy into having a PC, that's a good thing, right? So me, from a consumer, I'm not a PC guy at all. But what I can say is we always go on and on. Well, this doesn't have this, and you don't have this game, and oh, Stadia isn't getting this game, and GFN, but they don't have Capcom. But Shadow sounds cool when you think of it, right? That you could pay your $45, have a 3070, right? $45 a month, but you aren't limited to any games for the most part. So when I hear like some console people say like, oh, well, you know, PlayStation, I could get this game or that game, right? And the cloud doesn't. But if you think of Shadow, you think of, you know what? If I just got that game for, you know, I bought it from Epic or all the different Steam or whatever, then I could play that in the cloud and I could play it on multiple devices and blah, blah, blah.
Well, what I loved about Shadow before I quitted it and stuff like that, I used to walk around with my iPad. And I used to have a HDMI out cable to any display, and I used to walk around with a small form factor mouse and keyboard, like maybe $10, and an Xbox controller. And I used to put them in my bag, and anytime I wished to walk to a display, I used to just plug it in, and actually there was my whole, you know, PC there, accessible as long as I had internet connection, and it was just amazing to do.
That is pretty cool. Could you answer Simpleton's question? I said, so Shadow virtual PC, question mark. Does it come with anything, or say I wanted some graphic design software? Do I buy it, download it, and use it?
Yeah, of course. So if you got the licensing for any subscription, like, you know, Adobe Creative Cloud and stuff like that, you can actually install it because it actually is your PC. So anything you actually own, you can actually install it and use it just like you would if it was a physical device. Right.
So to be clear, GFN is just for gaming. That's clear, right, Maker?
Yep. Yeah, it's like an application based like cloud service. So it only lets you play game applications basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to, you can actually hook up the likes of webcams to it. So your device, and actually, as long as you've got a good upload speed in your home, you can actually use it as a live streaming service and stuff like that. So there's loads of
Mr.
pros.
Hermore got a point. He said, day and date games is another pro. How could I forget? And back catalog. That is a good point. You know, I just feel like $45. So here's my thing. My take is $45 a month. And after so much time, I made an analogy the other day, but I was writing it, so I want to explain it. People don't typically lease a car forever, right? That one car, then they start leasing a different car. But I guess this would be the same thing as if you leased Shadow, then eventually over time, they're probably going to have a higher tier or a better graphics card, and then you could just start paying for that. So if I was leasing a Chevy Malibu, actually I don't think they make them anymore, but if I was leasing a Kia Rio, oh, go ahead.
Well, the best amalgamation I can think of is like a phone tariff, where you actually get your phone for like 2-3 years, and then after 3 years you upgrade it, and then what happens to the phone? We usually just throw it in the cupboard, or we pass it to a family member, and go, there you go. So that's what I'm thinking they're doing. They're offering a service for so many years, and then hopefully they'll upgrade it. So maybe in 3 years they might have a 4000 series. So in the end, your 45 will always, you know, go to the next best thing.
And not for nothing, if you're in a mindset of I'm just going to keep, like me, right? I leased 2 vehicles, not back to back, but I leased a vehicle. When I was done my lease, I bought a cheaper vehicle. And then when that was getting ready to die or I had issues with it, I couldn't figure it out. So you know what? Let me go to the dealership and just see what I could get. But I did go on the premise of whoever could give me a $200 car payment, whether it's a lease, used, brand new, I'll buy. And in the end, the lease was $215.70. That's the car I have now. But I guess where I would look at Shadow, that's kind of expensive for gaming. But
well, you have to see it as this stuff like your car. If that machine breaks, you are on no loss. If any of the parts fail, they'll just replace it and build you another PC. So
that's right.
You can just say, "Ah, well." But if that was a PC in your house and it's set on fire or certain parts didn't work, it's cost to you anyway as well.
That's right. So then, host, let me do this to you, man. All right. Come on, man. You know what Chucky would say, okay? So I'm not even going to get into Chucky or bring him on the screen. Host, you got to pick one. This is Shadow versus GFN, all right? If you had to pick one, let's hear it.
Well, I'm literally focusing more on being responsible with my money these days, so I want to pick the cheapest option because I know I've been harsh on GeForce Now, but of late they've started to bring more of my libraries towards the platform, and the price it is $30.80. I don't have to worry about storage. Where if I bought Shadow, they would actually, charge me more if I wanted more storage, which ups the cost. So I like having like a cheaper option and have the power. And now GeForce Now is offering on my TVs, they're offering on more displays and devices that I actually play on. So for me, it's got to be GeForce Now. Because like I said, price of entry, stuff like this.
Okay, let's go to FCAT. If you had to choose one or the other, which would it be?
It depends. I mean, because my main question is, does the GeForce Now 3080 actually, can you Destiny raid on it and it not lag up and mess up and whatnot and give you trouble? And I mean, how would that differ with Shadow? Because I mean, that's the true test. Is like if you can sit there and raid on Destiny.
So your question is, can you play a game for a long period of time and then not have an issue? Is that the question?
Like something like raiding in Destiny, like it takes hours and hours, and
Okay, so here's the thing: if you were playing a raid longer than 8 hours, just know on GFN you would have to shut down and start up. So that might be an issue. Your session, right? If you're playing on Shadow, there is no time limit. So if that's your only issue, then remember Shadow is $45 a month. The 3080 is $20 a month.
No,
so
it's just because I'm skeptical about like Destiny rating on cloud gaming because I've always had a bad experience.
Yeah, but my thing is, your rating is really not a rating. It's that you don't believe that you could play cloud gaming for extended period of time. Is really what it's coming down to. So I guess for you, right? So the question is, which one would you choose, right? So yes, no one could answer that for you because it depends on where you live at and how it's going to work for you. So I think what makes your decision probably, and again, I'm not making it for you, but I'm just trying to spell it out, is if your issue is, if I was in a Destiny raid for an extended period of time, well, if you think we're going to be raiding longer than 8 hours, then GFN isn't for you.
Okay.
But like I said, I only came from like the gaming aspect. Imagine that I wanted to sort of travel around to certain places. All I'd have to do was take my phone or iPad with a keyboard and mouse, and I could actually I can have a live studio, and I could still be like, Cowboy, I'm in the hotel, and I've joined your show, and this. So there's plenty of features depending on the user base.
See, I didn't think of that. So my thing is, when I always brag on Stadia, and this weekend, guys, I'm going to my mother-in-law house, so I'm going to take my phone, and I'm going to probably be streaming, right? So Stadia let me do direct streaming. But Stadia isn't cool like Luna, where they let me have my face on the screen. But I get what you're saying. With GFN, it'd be just me going to my mother-in-law house, playing my games on my phone. But you're saying with Shadow, it's a virtual PC. So this one I'm using now, I'll be able to access on Shadow and stream and do everything I could do at home, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I didn't think of it like that.
And then you can use your input. You can use your phone camera and the microphone as sort of like your input device for your stream. So, and then if you wanted to, like just because you're like your mother-in-law's and stuff has like the basic requirement to run Shadow, that doesn't mean that on the Shadow end you will have 1 gig down. So you can quickly install stuff quickly and go, look, and then show.
So I got a question. does Shadow allow you to use mobile data?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. Because at mother-in-law house, I don't use. She just got internet that long ago, and she doesn't have unlimited package and all that. So when I'm over there, I just use my phone data.
Yeah. So Shadow will only send you an instance of that machine. So it'll use, I don't know how many megabits per second it would take. Mm-hmm. And then in the end, all the heavy lifting is down their side, using their bandwidth, their hardware. Then all you have to do is just use your 5G at that limit, basic, whatever it is.
Or my phone, yeah. And have a good night, Dre. So I'm going to answer my question, and let's let Maker take it away. I think I'm kind of probably in the realm of hopes. I think Shadow has a lot of advantages, but for the extra $15, I don't think it's worth it, right? If I was traveling a lot more than I do now, then yeah, because I love, like, I'm going to go on vacation. We booked our family vacation this year on August 27th to September 3rd. So 8 days we're going to be gone. So I'm not taking my laptop. So when I do streams and vlog or whatever I'm doing, it's all going to be from my phone, right? But with Shadow, that would have been cool because I could have my whole same setup. But I don't do that often that I think I would spend an extra $15 a month. So for me, and I do get that Shadow, I'll be able to play more games. But I feel like since I'm a picky gamer, I don't like that many games anyway. I don't even buy that many games a year.
But you see,
GFN might be the way to go for
Shadow in the past was amazing for me because, like I said, before all these other cloud native apps came on mobiles and certain iOS and stuff like that, I was just playing Stadia and xCloud and stuff like that on my virtual Shadow PC. So it actually helped for uncompatible cloud devices. So to me, it was a win-win back then. But now you see the services, apps everywhere now. So it depends who you are.
Yeah. And Wilson, just want to say, it's not even a debate. This is just a discussion. We're just having a discussion. So Maker, you, how would you break it down and which one would you choose?
Well, I just renewed my GFN 3080 tier and I canceled my Shadow. And the main reason is that Shadow just doesn't work that great for me. If I could utilize it better, I will have to say $45 a month is a bit pricey, especially since I already do own a PC that's more powerful than the rig that they're letting out. The main reason why I like GFN is because it has something comparable and it has a majority of the games that I want to play. You know, they just got Lost Ark, they got New World, they've got God of War is what I've been playing as of late, and I just think they're doing a good job of getting games right now, and it satisfies me at least.
It's cool. I mean, that makes sense. That all makes sense. Now, the curveball is Mr. Urban said, let me ask folks this, and this could go for all of us. If GFN and Shadow were the same price, which would you choose?
It would have to definitely be Shadow because I'll destroy their hardware constantly. Like I wouldn't have to worry about my hard drives, my SSDs getting latency. I'll just pull my phone, click download, and if say it was 100 gig, it'll be ready in like half an hour to 40 minutes.
Yeah, I would definitely choose Shadow if they're the same price because I didn't even think about what you said about I could use all of this that I'm using. Yeah. And that would be pretty cool because I can still use this on my phone, but it doesn't allow me to share things when I'm using my phone, and it won't allow me to like share. Like I can't do this and play Stadia, but I'm assuming Shadow would allow me to do both.
And then, of course, it was the same price. I would say I wouldn't be using it for outside of gaming, but then I'll be using different like social apps. I'll be using full-on creative cloud production stuff. I'll be doing and just do all the rendering while I'm just sitting there. My phone will be on the side. You might not even be paying attention. I'm just leaving it on, and then all the downloads and rendering and stuff like that will be on their side. So for the same price, it would definitely have to be Shadow.
Well, for me, right, it would be a no-brainer because if you already like GFN and know it's a limited game selection, but if you put the same price for Shadow and you was able to get any game your heart's content because you just buy it and you could play it, then that's a no-brainer. But what about you?
I was going to say, to answer Vet's question quick, that's what I done before because it was still in beta before.
Mine would be GFN.
Okay, if they were the same price, you pick GFN?
Depends. I mean, if Shadow lets you, try it out for free for an hour or something like that.
Well, what I'm saying is, after all you've heard between both, if they were the same price, which would you choose? Right? Like, I know you haven't played it. I haven't either. But I think I gather enough information that I could just, make
I would
a
like to
choice.
try it out, just
Right.
to see what's up.
This is a hard guy on here, man. All right. And what about you, Maker?
Well, if they're the same price, then if it worked for me, worked as well as GFN, I would definitely pick Shadow for sure. Just because, as people point out, the utility of it, being able to utilize it for different applications, it would be pretty cool if I could run like Unreal on it and be able to run pretty intensive programs with it.
Maker, was there a set price that you were actually willing to keep Shadow after today's event?
That's a good question.
No, just because of the latency that I was getting. It just, I was satisfied with GFN. I had enough of a library that I could play a significant portion of my games.
GFN's coming along with the games and stuff. I mean, granted, we won't get Overwatch back, but I mean...
Yeah, but what's crazy when we had these whole talks? Like, is one game going to stop you? That's what it comes down to. So there's always going to be a game you can't get. Like, I'm never going to be able to play Mario on PlayStation, right? So it's like, but will that stop me? So as an individual gamer, it actually comes down to your gaming needs, right? If you need this game, then it makes sense that you probably don't want to make this platform your sole platform.
Right.
Well, see, what I done in the past with Shadow, and this is very seedy of me, you know what I mean? It's not the best way to explain it, but what I was doing was I was buying Shadow, and then I was going to certain websites to actually buy the game a lot cheaper than it was on Steam. So that's how I can justify the price of Shadow and the game. So,
right. And let me just say this for Wilson. Wilson said, you just said this isn't a debate, and then your next sentence was asking Maker, which one would you choose? Feels like a debate. No, so a debate is between two people. I asked him specifically would he choose, right? So unless he's debating himself, then that's on him. But so we're not debating each other. We're just having a discussion. So.
Yeah, no, Maker. I think Maker, I'm sure you just said you can do it on Did I hear say you can do that on GFN as well?
Where you buy those games that are really
cheap, but I was just focused on like the whole. Like if I was focused on Elden Ring, for example, that's how I would justify it.
Right. I mean, I got Elden Ring for like 50. Got the 10 off. You can generally get that, like similar with Resident Evil Village on release day. I got it for 50 instead of 60 because I bought it through Green Man Gaming, I believe.
Yeah, Green Man Gaming's a good one.
Yeah, and they offered a $10 off discount, which is nice.
What is sorry, Mr. Urban will talk about it. So also with Shadow, I could watch all types of videos too. No other cloud service lets you do that after a long night of gaming. Oh, I guess he means just that via Shadow you could still watch.
Yeah, he was saying like services, like other clients, like so anime, Crunchyroll, blah 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 blah, all that stuff like that.
I feel like most of them already have application. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, right. Like, what can't you?
Like I said, but the point is that's it is. If you got a smart device, why would you have to go anywhere else? You just open up on that phone, wouldn't you?
That's true. Bruce said GFN for this dude, and Mr. says he's laughing at Cat isn't giving you any answers.
I was really hoping we'd hear announcements for more data centers in the US.
I'd say GFN over Shadow, just because I don't really know much about it.
That's fair. What were you saying, Maker? You thought they were going to at least announce some more data centers?
Yeah, and I see that they're expanding, I believe, to Canada and a few other things with their announcement. But just having just the 3 data centers in the U.S. is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, that sounds kind of small.
Hey, Maker, would you say them 3 data centers is their core demographic, or would you say like it's just where they can probably get the cheapest costs at the moment?
I think it's cost-based, where they're trying to space it out evenly. Because California's on the opposite side, and then there's Texas is just right in the middle near the Midwest, and then you've got you've got New York, which covers the Northeast, which is like Virginia, all those like pretty populated towns. But there's still the Southeast, and I know like Atlanta, and there's a few other locations. There's a lot of military sites down here in the South that could really take advantage of cloud-based PCs, or at least users could.
All right, hold on, Holtz, real quick. Darn it, I keep doing that. All right, guys, check it out. I was a big fan of this when I was younger, corned beef hash, and my wife, for the first time ever, made it. It's very simple, but it wasn't something she ever made. And
we have corned beef hash all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I used to when I was younger, all the time. It's just something, I don't know, I just haven't had in a long time. I went to my buddy's Dave's house. His wife made it, which is cool.
I'll be right back.
But this is the first time. All right, she's making it, so she wanted me to take a bite first. Here we go.
Well, here we usually add baked beans or marifat peas.
Oh yeah, baked beans would be good.
Or if you're a child, you get loads of tomato sauce and you squirt it all over, and that's.
Maker, here's a question. Lo-Fi said you could play Stadia on Shadow PC, so I would pick Shadow. Not sure if you could play Stadia on GFN.
I'm not sure why you would want to play Stadia on GFN, just because you can already play it on all the places that it's available for the Stadia is available on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can understand if maybe because Shadow might have a lower latency than what your current location is, but I've always found it's probably going to be remotely close to what you currently have connection wise.
So answering Bruce's question, yes, you can do that, but it's not actually recommended in their terms of service. But your PC,
nothing's recommended, right?
That's it. They have to do a clause, don't they? So
you have to, right?
They're not going to broadcast that out and go get our service in a different country and do this and yeah.
Torrent videos, movies, and applications.
Right. All right. Well, this is pretty cool, man. A lot of people asked a lot of questions, so I definitely want to thank Holtz and Maker, because you guys were able to answer a lot of stuff. What else? I mean, is there anything we want to dive into? Specific, not really GFN, because GFN's been around for a while. They haven't added anything newer recently, but they're banging these games out, which is cool. But Shadow is the new thing. So is there anything we want to discuss with the Shadow thing? We don't have to be a versus anymore, but just kind of more of a discussion with Shadow. Anything you want to throw in there, Maker, that we probably didn't cover?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, it has a lot of utility, and there are a lot of pros for Shadow. Mm-hmm. But there's also cons, and it's mostly because of their coverage. They're not as big as NVIDIA, so mm-hmm. they don't have as wide of a reach. NVIDIA kind of corners the market on their own GPUs, so they can push out these super pods and have it at a competitive price. So, or at a lot lower price.
And the best thing about GeForce Now is that we don't actually have to have storage restrictions. So I know they only use 3080 tier, but you don't really need to know the processor, the RAM, the this. Yeah. You just know that it's at certain tier and off you go. Where I think Shadow pushes the whole specs to try and get the PC audience in to use it more than the actual gaming side.
And let's bring up Mr. Urban. He said, I might give in and pay the $45. Dude, you've been representing Shadow for a long time. I was sad when you canceled it because that was your thing. But you know what money you have in your bank, in your pocket, and you know what your gaming needs are. And none of us could say that. And if anybody get on you for liking something, then that's more of a personal problem on them. And we all do it. We mess with each other all the time. But here's what's cool. And I'll use Maker, for example. Maker will give us a hard time sometimes. But listen, first of all, if he believes what he's saying, it's still his opinion, so he's entitled to it. And two, I see Maker playing Stadia more than some people who talk about Stadia. Like you see Maker always joining streams. He's up late night. Well, late for me anyway, but 1 a.m. my time. But he's joining race streams. He's, so long story short, it's fun to have our console wars and cloud wars, but you have to know what you're going to pay for and you have to know what you like. And so no one's going to mess with you. Like the Shadow thing, you've been going on and on about it. And so I was interested to see what they was going to announce. And I think they announced some cool stuff. I think Host just elaborating that, no, it's a PC. So you could even use like this, right? Which is cool. Like I could go to my mother-in-law house and use OBS. Like, you know how intensive OBS is, right? But I could use that on my phone via Shadow. That's cool. Just saying it sounds cool. Like, wait, what? But
I would like to say the activation is actually a lot faster now. I think they actually said an hour activation if you sort of join, which beats back in the day where it used to be months.
Oh, it was a few weeks for me, and that was back in March. So.
Yeah, like I said, it was restricted on data centers, wasn't it? I know there was a few people that was screaming for it, and they just couldn't get the engineers in fast enough.
Yeah, I think I got in like end of February. I think I got my email February like 28th.
Now, if we're kind of done a little bit with Shadow and GFN or Maker, is there anything you want to throw in there with GFN? Anything lately besides them getting some of these bangers?
I just think they've been doing a pretty good job.
I agree. Listen, I've been very vocal. I'm a Stadia fan. Out of everything, Stadia is my preferred platform. But as a fan, I am a little what do I say? Well, I'll say the term is now I feel like Stadia isn't enough. But because I'm a picky gamer, it helps me because I don't like a bunch of games other people like. But I will say it's kind of cool if you're. I always say this for Xbox. If you're an Xbox fan, man, they're doing a great job for their fan base. If you're a GFN fan,
a lot of people mentions in chat the free option, the free tier, actually does sound a lot for a lot of people. So I think a lot of people in this chat like to buy their games as much full price or sale, and then actually having the free tier to offer 1080. So it's good to see that a lot of people can access their games no matter what tier and what platform or service. So
yeah, that is a big deal. Like you have to admit that's a big deal, But before I switch gears, Maker, I'm gonna go to you because I know you got your ears to the ground for some of this. Ron put up boosteroids, baby. What's your thoughts, man, with boosteroids coming to the US? I personally just thought it was something illegal going on because they got all these crazy games. But can anyone tell me, are they still offering all those games now that they're in the US? Like, is Elden Ring on there? Is WWE 2K on there? Like,
I haven't sub to it yet. Like when I go to the landing page for Boosteroid, it does not give an option for like US. Like when I try and look up the pricing and stuff like that. So there's definitely
I think it's $9.99.
I haven't tried it out, but
I was worried that it was I was worried that it was in the United States because I thought to myself it was Britain's dirty little secret cloud service that no one actually cared about really, and it was a hidden gem to play these games like Cowboy's named, and I was thinking by the time it makes the States it's going to get so much publicity that all the developers are going to say take our games off that service, and it just crumbles. So I hope it doesn't. I hope whatever they're doing is legit with their licensing of games.
Oh, you think the GFN thing's gonna happen to Boosteroid?
Eventually, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it is application-based, similar to GFN style, where you just load up your game. It's not like Shadow, where you have access to a full PC.
I mean, I'm glad.
What was it?
I was saying, I'm glad that all these, little cloud gaming little things are getting picked up and bought out, and Shadow being bought out and revamped. That's all good.
There's competition.
Yeah, more competition.
But what type of pictures of CEOs does Boosteroid have over people to get these games that nobody else can get? Like, I just need to know.
I think they got bought by Intel.
No, they didn't. It was like a company in Europe. I can't remember who bought them out.
Oh.
But Booster Road's been going for a few
Who did
years.
Intel buy? They bought Vortex.
Oh, what was I thinking? I was thinking Shadow. Shadow got bought by somebody in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, Booster Road's been going for a few years, so I think that they've got like a licensing agreement that's sort of saying if you stay in beta and blah blah blah, you can play these games, but once you drop that tag or grow past a certain user base, then you have to pay a different licensing fee for them game library or something.
I would assume it's something similar. Yeah.
Because it baffles my head how like Boosteroid can get away with it, but Nvidia didn't. And I would have thought Nvidia would have the biggest.
What happened to Walmart Cloud Gaming?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing during the Epic Apple trial?
Yeah, even Verizon.
And they said they were going to have BattleNet.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of services that are trying to come out, but I would say Xbox and PlayStation are the ones that are probably going to have the most success just because of name brand alone.
Right.
Just look at Xbox dropping Fortnite on Nextcloud and the hubbub that got about it, despite GFN having it for months, basically.
Actually, they're complaining now because it picked up traffic, so now the wait is longer to get into a game.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Because of Fortnite.
And I know a lot of people complain about like the wait times, but honestly, if your service is successful, you're gonna have some sort of wait times, especially if it's cloud-based.
Tim Sweeney mentioned Fortnite coming to Stadia if they drop Linux or something.
No, I mean, they have the low change porting, so that's I just think it's deals. I just think Stadia probably isn't going to get them because of the whole court case, and they're probably not going to get them because they just can't land a deal. That's all.
I have to say, I'm a very selfish gamer. That if I pay for the service, I don't want my service diluted by people playing free games, and I have to join a queue for anything. If I actually get on my service and it comes up with a warning, you're in a queue, service down for maintenance, blah blah blah, that is when I start saying, sorry, my money, it's my time, and I'll actually leave.
So the reason why I agree with you is because I was always a console guy, and I never, like, there's very rare times that ever in the history of me gaming on a console, like Destiny Part 2, the day it came out, midnight release, you know, it was messed up because so many people, the servers crashed. Friday the 13th, the company Ilphonic, it was a small studio at the time. They didn't know that game was going to be that. I don't know how you didn't think the licensing of Friday the 13th wasn't a big deal, but either way, the servers crashed for like the first day. So yeah, I agree. If I being a console guy, I'm not used to stuff like that, so that would bother me. But that's because of my path of gaming, right? But somebody who's been a PC guy, they're probably like, you could get over it. Stuff goes down for maintenance, blah blah blah. But real quick. Bruce said, is anyone else here a PC gamer with a large Steam library?
Me. I've got over 500 games on Steam.
Yeah, I've been playing Steam for like literally nearly like just under 20 years. I would have to get it up, but it's not a huge library where I'm sitting there going, oh, it's thousands of thousands because I got free games. I got a humble bundle package. I've just selected a handful of games per year, and I've played it on Steam.
Make sure to pull it up and see how many games I have available. I have a shared library with my brother.
So, Maker, I don't think I talked to you since. Well, I think it was just yesterday or 2 days ago. But what's your thoughts on PlayStation Plus now that they actually got a trailer? They've released games that's going to be starting. What's your thoughts?
I think it's good. I think I'm honestly surprised. I didn't think they were going to go all out as much as they did. I'm a little bit worried as to what titles might be leaving, especially with them adding a significant amount of games. It seems. Because I'm sure you saw that they're expecting around 750 or 60 games total, and PS Now currently has over 800 titles.
But is that going to be day one? I don't think they said day one, right?
I don't think we're going to see any day ones. At least not.
No.
Yet.
I mean, they're going to have 800 games day one? What I'm saying is, they're probably going to be over time. So they probably, if they're saying
now already has 800. PlayStation
right.
Plus said that.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're okay. I got you.
They're going to have less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on. Let me give a shout out real quick, man. I got some Foxy. What's going on? Give a clap, and also for TK9 is in the building. Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate it. I don't think I've seen Foxy on here, but I always seen TK9. But thanks for jumping in, guys. And it's funny, he would jump in when I mentioned PlayStation. I literally the whole time didn't mention PlayStation, but now I mention PlayStation. He jumps in, and you know he's not that cool with PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the PlayStation sub for a little bit. See what's up.
Question: do games leave PS Plus? I don't know. Do they? Like, I haven't heard them say that yet.
Yeah. Well, PS Now they leave.
No, but have you seen? Like, I haven't seen that in writing. So I would just assume
it's definitely going to leave.
I don't know.
I would assume that, but I haven't seen that in writing. Like, they're real coy, and even this, the way they word everything, it sounds like every game will be cloud streaming. If you notice their wording, everything says, like, I actually screenshotted a couple things yesterday, or day before yesterday, and it was like, they said, not all games are cloud streaming until June 13th. I was like, wait, they said not all games, because remember, it's coming out in certain regions before Asia, May 26th, Japan, June 1st, right? So it says not all games. So I'm like, wait, you just said not all games. So does that mean all games will be via the cloud? So I'm so, like, every wording suggests all games are via cloud, but I almost can't picture that.
You always have to watch out for that wording.
Yeah,
no, they've already confirmed that the game trials you'll have to download and you won't be able to stream.
Yeah, but so the game trials, I get that. I'm talking about
why did you get it? You have to download a trial. A trial to me has got to be the quickest way to access a game. So I want them on cloud, so I quickly go boom. It works. I like it, and then I install or play on cloud.
I agree. I don't know if I'm gonna be downloading trials. That might be a little annoying, but I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know, but I think they have a decent library. I mostly worry about the longevity of things. Mm-hmm. We've seen Take-Two have really short lifespans in subscription services, and that's where I'm wondering where NBA 2K22, Red Dead 2, those titles. I'm wondering how long those will stay on that PS Plus subscription.
Well, here's the thing, Maker. Is your worry like I worry that much that I won't get the service, or are you just like, oh, I wonder if games just kind of how fast they're on there? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how long they'll last. I'm probably not going to upgrade just yet.
Okay.
Maybe down the line when there's a buildup of maybe PS5 titles that I currently don't own, but the current selection that they have is everything that I already own. I've got Returnal, I've got Ratchet and Clank, I've got Demon Souls, all their big exclusives. I've got Ghost of Tsushima. So currently it doesn't really appeal to me that much.
All I want to know is that if I've got my Ghost of Tsushima save on my PS5 and I upload it to the PlayStation Plus, the cloud aspect, will that automatically tie into my cloud game of Ghost of Tsushima on the service?
So I don't know.
I know Microsoft uploads your save data to the cloud and they just pull it from there. But I'm like, Sony, please, I don't want to start again. Just so buy a cloud option.
I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet yes, because if you already have PS Plus, it allows you their cloud storage, right? So you would just think.
Yeah, but you see, what I'm trying to say is Microsoft has that already integrated with your console outside of a subscription. Your save always goes online and stuff like that. Where if I played on the cloud Ghost of Tsushima, will that update my save in the cloud and then drop it to my PlayStation 5? Or would I always have to update it and then download it on the service?
Download it. You have to download it.
So it won't be like Xbox, will it, where I can just grab it?
No, it's not automatic like Xbox. Because I've played a few titles on PlayStation now, and it requires for me to play my save from on the cloud, I have to download it onto my PlayStation to play it. Because there's like two saves you can choose from. You can choose the save that you had on your PlayStation, and you can choose the save that you had in the cloud, and so you have to download the cloud version.
Because to me, PlayStation Now was a service that I can play backwards compatible games. It was never fresh enough where I can access a save. It was always something like, oh, I remember playing that game on the PlayStation 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. But this is the only time now I see PlayStation 5 titles that I've actually got installed that I'm thinking, oh, I would love to take that portable, but I would love it to be automatic because I wouldn't like to go on the go and go, crap, have I got to redeem my save?
Yes, now it's getting a little bit more like Game Pass, and they really need to devote into making the mobile app and the Android TV app and everything else.
Yeah. Real quick, Maker, I had this on the screen forever, but Bruce said Maker must be a Humble Bumble subscriber with all those games.
I used to be.
Yeah, but you just said you share with your brother, don't you? Didn't you say, Maker? You got a Steam library that you sort of.
So,
yep, I've got 515 games on Steam available for me.
Nice. So let me throw my hat into the virtual ring of the PlayStation thing. As you guys know, I was interested in this when it was called Project Spartacus. I'm still interested, but as I said last night on a podcast, shout out to ISO and Doc Dark. They had me on their podcast, What a Warrior podcast. I did say I am looking forward to it. June 13th, I would easily pay $120 day one, pay for the whole year. But I really love what Xbox does. And for instance, if there's 30 games on Game Pass, at least 27 of them will be on xCloud. I need to know, like for instance, if on day one, PlayStation comes out with 57 games and only 13 are via cloud streaming, then I'm done. Then no. But if 50 of the 57, then okay, we're getting somewhere. So I need to see that. Now, the good thing is this will be coming out in other regions before it comes out on the 13th next month here. So I'll be able to see what games actually are going to be for cloud streaming before it reaches here, because that's important to me. So, but everything else, to me, I'm interested in. I explained last night, a real quick, Holtz, is that for me, it's just going to be like Game Pass. I got Game Pass because Bruce told me about this game Carrion, and I knew Game Pass get games. I knew $15 a month, I'll find something else I'll play. If I played 2 games, which I got a chance to play Trek to Yomi, I got a chance to play Carrion, that month it was worth it, right? So just to have a PlayStation similar thing where there's just a bunch of games, and if one night I'm like, you know what, my Stadia friends aren't on, let me just scroll through my PlayStation Plus and find something to play. That's fine for me for a year for $120. But if I could access a lot of games via the cloud, I get it might not be all, but if it's most of them, then I'm fine. And that's all. That's my only thing with the PlayStation thing.
Well, I'll be going into this new subscription as a premium member because I'll have the merger of the Now and PlayStation Plus. So I'll be testing it to see if I like it. But I know deep down I'll be cancelling it until another year or 2 years because I'm like Maker. I've played all the games that I would want to play PlayStation 5 side. So I need to take a breather away from the service and then come back and see what it can offer me in the future for my monthly price.
Hold on, wait. Say that again, Holtz?
So I'll be cancelling my subscription after my subscription merger finishes because at the moment I look at that list and I go played, not interested. Okay. So I need to take a step back for maybe a year, let the library pad itself out, and then jump back in and see what it offers for me as it's grown. Because at the moment, to me, it'll be like it's not going to be. If I jumped in, if I never had the merger of Now and Plus, I wouldn't be paying for it yet. But if I was a new gamer to the PlayStation ecosystem, I would definitely jump in to play a lot of them titles.
Right.
There.
Yeah.
If you're a new PS5 owner, I definitely would look into that. There's some great games in there.
Because like we just mentioned before, if I had to go and buy the PlayStation 5, it's a set amount of dollars. So I'll divide that by the service cost and then see how much I can actually play the service for a few years. So say I never had the PlayStation 5, I'll pay $15 or whatever it is in the States, and then I'll be playing Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, this to this, and I'll be like, oh my god, this is amazing. I don't need a PlayStation 5 now just to play these titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, the Game Pass is a better deal.
Okay, and why is that?
Just because it's a lot of better games. Most of the games on PS Now are currently on, xCloud, other than the PlayStation exclusives. I mean, if they change it, that'll be cool. But I need to see something resembling.
I need to head out. I'll catch you guys later.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Oh, okay, later, Maker. So yeah, I mean that's fair. If you like certain games, that's you. So here, this is all I'll say. Is right now, if you compare PS Now, just know that PS Now business model isn't what we're getting in June 13. June 13 is going to be more similar to a Game Pass. We're going to have more third-party games. You're going to have more. You're going to have a bunch more games, just like Game Pass. You just won't have day-and-date Sony exclusives.
Right. Yeah, so the Spider-Mans, example, the 2 Spider-Mans, are they giving those for free, or are they going to be cloud streaming?
Well, no one knows that. Their wording suggests that every game is cloud streaming, but we don't know that yet. But those 2 Spider-Man games are included in the subscription service.
So it's kind of wait and see.
Yeah, you have to. Even me. I'm talking highly of it, but I gotta wait and see. Listen.
Well, TK9 just brought a game up. If you said to me at the end of the month, what game would I want to play? Do I want to play the likes of Spider-Man on a service, or do I want to play the new Sniper Elite on Game Pass? Of course, I'm going to be saying, well, give me the latest day one release. So I would definitely, because it would save me more money, and I'll be getting a better quality game. Let me real quick. Going back 2 years for that Spider-Man.
Simpleton, can you send me the? You said that The Verge had a really good article, a really thorough article. Can you send me that article? I would like to check it out. Not now, but if you could send it to me on Twitter, I like to check it out in my own spare time. I agree. So I was only going to have my Game Pass for 1 month, but I think I forgot when I got it. But I want to play Sniper Elite 5, right? So the Stadia community, we had a ball playing Sniper Elite 4 the other day.
They're not half reeling you in this year, aren't they, Cowboy? This is your second, third month of Game Pass. They're getting your dosh.
Hey, listen, if you offer this is the way money should be. If you offer me something, let me start over. I'll use my word. If I'm interested in something, there's that word interest, then you will get my money. I don't care if you're GFN. I don't care if you're Stadia. I don't care if you're Nintendo. But if you offer something that I'm interested in, you will get my money. I'm not tied to no console, no platform. I just like Stadia because if there's 5 things, Stadia does at least 3 of them really well.
Cowboy, don't say nothing because GameFly will be sending a $10 discount code. Please don't leave, Cowboy.
We'll find out at the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. This is why, and I know people will get mad when I say it, this is why GameFly is the best value in gaming, because I pay $15.95 a month, and I'm gonna ask all you guys, which one of these subscription services we mentioned has Evil Dead? Is it Stadia Pro? Is it Game Pass? Is it PlayStation Now? Is it
you are right in what you're saying that when you pick that game, but to me it's like it's unfair because I haven't got a rental service like GameFly, and then you have to consider if we all jumped on GameFly, GameFly couldn't cater to the masses to give us all that day one game of.
Listen, listen. All I know is Holtz. All I know is that's a good hypothetical scenario, but I haven't crossed it yet. So let me answer Kat. Yes, GFN, but guess what? You have to buy that game. I was going to buy
Steam.
Huh?
Yeah, on Steam. No, Epic.
No, hear me out. What I said is what subscription service? GFN subscription service does not have that game included. You have to buy that game. That ain't included with what you pay for GFN. So what I'm saying is, this is why GameFly is pretty good, because games that other services don't have, GameFly gets every game. Once it becomes a physical copy, they get every game. Now, know what you're gonna say? You gotta wait for it to come in the mail, and that's true. But real quick, they have a thing called Game Lock. If it's a game coming out and you know you want that game, if you game lock it, you'll get that game day and date. You just go only do that 30 days in a time. So essentially, you could game lock a game, 12 games a year, one every month. So just saying.
Now, Cowboy, I know you love this. I know you love this service, and I know you're like, it's good for you because in the end you don't have these issues. But Geek the Sneak just said, no one game flies anymore. And that was the same here with like Blockbuster and Love Film and stuff like that. It all closed down. Mm-hmm. So if rentals were so popular, why are all these subscriptions closed down and it's only the likes of Gamefly left? And like only you talking about it if it's so in high demand, should I say?
So you know what I think? I think there's a community of people, right? One, people that go on social media, Twitter, Reddit, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a community of content creators, right? People who cover content that you hear from. And then there's what I used to be. I was never into social media gaming. I didn't watch videos. I was just, me and my friends talked and we played games. So I still think there's a plethora, probably the biggest section. There's probably a bigger section of people who just play games and don't even get involved with Reddit and Twitter and YouTube and Twitch, right? So I think Gamefly wouldn't be a service just like everything else if it wasn't making money. So it just if you say to yourself, well, all the other ones closed, right? Then guess what? You might be right. But sure as enough, Gamefly is sending me The Evil Dead.
So you think Gamefly has got a good market? They've got a good marketing scheme. They cater to the audience that they've got. They haven't overreached, and maybe like these other companies sort of lost money in because they were overreaching, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah, so for me, and once upon a time, I did cancel my Gamefly. I canceled it for all of maybe 7 days. This is what happened. I was like, you know what? I'm the type of person where I had played all the games I wanted to play, right? And I felt like there was only 3 games out that when I like a game, I buy it or I rent it, whatever, right? There was only 3 games that I didn't play. There's Resident Evil Remake 2, Resident Evil Remake 3, and then there was I still always one day would like to play Rise Son of Rome, right? And I went to play that on Game Pass and it wasn't there. So I canceled my service and then I went to the movies and saw Resident Evil whatever the raccoon whatever, right?
Welcome to Raccoon City.
Welcome to Raccoon City. And when I watched the movie, my wife and I left and I said, I got to play the Resident Evil. So I quickly got my Gamefly back after I canceled it and realized, man, I pretty much shouldn't get rid of Gamefly because at the time there was no newer games that I really cared about. So I re-upped on my Gamefly, and then I was like, you know what? Elden Ring was coming out and Forbidden West, but real quick, let me bring in somebody who's the first time ever on here. Let's give it up for Sean. What's up, man? All right, cut it. As I have your comment up on the screen. Can I don't think we could hear you. Rats. Anyway, so I don't want to go into this whole Gamefly thing. Long story short, yes, I did mention Gamefly is the greatest, but I do give Gamefly a lot of stock. Yes, you have to wait. No, but
it is great because in the end, I was just like focused on user numbers, like what was like how people compare, how many people play on Stadia, how many people play on GeForce now, and people that.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, I got nothing to do with users. I know that the games show up to my house. I know I play them and I send them back. And again, many times I pull up my list, you be like, whoa. Remember, I had Gamefly since 2004. So how many years is that? Somebody who's good at math. What are we talking about?
18 years. 18.
18 years I've had Gamefly. 18. You know how many games I got to play? You know let's add up how much money I saved. You know how many games I played? I was like, oh no. And I sent back the next day or a week later. But that would have been a $60 purchase or a $40 purchase or $50 purchase. And you know how many games I purchased from GameFly? Because when you purchase them from GameFly, you get them cheaper. But anyway, I don't want to go on and on about this GameFly thing. But I'm just telling you guys, for me, it's a great deal. As I'm playing my main games on my platforms with you guys and everybody, then I'm also GameFlying games. I always got a game from GameFly at some point. And also, one last thing I want to let you guys know. GameFly doesn't wait till they receive a game to send it back. As soon as the United States Postal Service scans that game, they let GameFly know that it's in their possession, and then they send me a game out. So that's pretty cool as well. All right. Holtz, anything good in the comments? I see you scrolling through as I'm trying to get through.
I just like the way that real certified doctor says, digital is much more convenient these days, and that's what I agree with. Digital is more convenient, and then cloud, just having an instant click and then straight through. I think these days I can't wait for stuff, so I'm more happy to sit there and go, why Cowboy's waiting for his disc in 3 days? I'm going to play it. I've already made my decision. I'm already talking on panels, laughing and joking.
Wait. Hold on. You said while I'm waiting for my disc, you already made your decision. You mean your decision to purchase a game?
No, I'm already made the decision if the game's good or not. I'm already talking to a panel of people laughing and joking, and then I'll be like, Cowboy's waiting for another few days.
Yeah, but here's the thing, what happened to me, right? I went on and on. Stadia doesn't have Evil Dead. I'm going to buy it on PlayStation. And guess what? When it came out, I didn't buy it just yet. I watched Ray stream. I watched TK9. I even looked at some other streams. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's for me. So guess what? I'm getting it via GameFly. So I'm actually going to play it and say if it's for me or not, and then I'll buy it digitally. I won't keep the disc, right? So I got to give GameFly credit because it's going to save me money, because I'm now more on the point where I actually don't think I'm going to like it as much as I thought. To me, go ahead.
And this is why I think it's important that trials of games should be instant access via the cloud.
I agree. You
shouldn't be downloading stupidly. Yeah, if it's 1 minute past 12 and I want to play The Evil Dead, for example, and I should be able just to click on it, have whatever time period they're going to offer me to make a decision, and then click buy if the full game's not on cloud, and download it, or give some links to storefronts or something like that. Every game should have a cloud trial version, even if it's not offered on their cloud service.
Do you think more games, if they did that, wouldn't get purchased versus getting purchased?
No, it will help, because, come on, back in the day, we used to get discs with our magazines and stuff like that, and that was our demos. That helped us make a decision on purchasing. Yeah. Or we used to go to a shop and play the game for 10-20 minutes if the device was free, and that made you decide if you wanted to buy the game.
True. So I feel like it also made you not decide. Sean, let me say this. If you can hear me, if you're on a computer, if you look in the upper left-hand screen where it says melon.com, if you click on that little lock, so what happens is your computer would lock your microphone and your computer will lock your camera. So you have to give it access. So if you click on that little lock, it will come up. And you might be able to do that as well on your browser. All right, let's see. All right, say something now.
I'll be back, Cowboy.
Okay, thanks for coming on, though. Coming for the title next to Callie, bring it, okay? Bring it. Let me see. I'm probably 90 to 10 digital. Yeah, so I got into digitals way before all my friends, man. The only games I have physical are Pokemon. Yep. So let me get into this, guys. This one I didn't go over, and I'd like to go over, Holtz. What's your thoughts? Because we don't talk about PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll probably end this thing with, we'll take a look at that new Stadia game. What's your thoughts on Starfield and what's the other game called? Redfall?
Redfall.
Yeah, being delayed. What's your take on that?
To me, take as much time as you need, because I don't want a crappy, broken game. right? So if developers need more time, or they need to optimize or do whatever they need, I am fine with it, because I've got enough games to play this year to pencil in Starfield and Redfall for next year. It's all right. It's only gaming. I can wait. But I want to play these games, but I do not want to play these games broken.
You see Gamefly wins? Sorry, I just want to say that. No, I agree with you, man. What I've learned in gaming, I used to be the gamer like, they need to hurry it up. But then when games got in...
I was exactly the same.
Yeah. And when I got into... hold on, he said Gamefly... LOL Gamefly is the equivalent of Shadow for his PS4. I don't know how that's possible, but...
and you know what? I've even got a developer on the Nintendo Switch bring a game forward by 2-3 months, and I'm like, wow, this is new. So I feel like delay a game if it's not up to your quality, and then why wait if you feel that the game's already went goals and that's the best you can do?
Right.
But then the developer should take the consequences of the delay or the push forward.
I agree. Mr. Urban, $15.95 a month, and that's for one game at a time. You could upgrade and have more games at a time, but I feel like Gamefly is for me only to play a game I don't want to purchase. So you guys got to hear me out. I only use it for renting purposes, and I used to use it to buy people games. Their games are really cheap. Once you rent it, you can hit the keep button, and then it's dirt cheap. So I used to have friends that say like, "Oh, I always say Electronics cheap. I was in GameStop and I seen this game. I was like, oh, don't buy it, bro. Let me look on Gamefly. I bet you it's cheaper." And I would always buy. It's like cars. If you buy a car from a rental place, that car is so much cheaper, right? Because they got their money's worth. They make sure they sell it when it's no more than 45 miles on the car, so you get a good deal. Well, the same thing with this Gamefly games. But anyway.
Well, I don't know how it works with the car amalgamation, because I thought like the idea of once a car gets off the lot, it devalues by half. So how do you actually make money? So
remember, there's a certain amount of money they're saving, and remember the MSRP, right? Or how much money are you overpaying, right? So you're already making money on you. But when so many people rent that car, remember, if I rent the car out for a week, right? Just think how much it might cost for a week. So let's say it costs $1,000 to rent this car for a week, right? Or $500. But let's say if you bought that car, your car payment for a month might only be $250. So look how much money they're making. So now they rent that car for, let's say, 3 years, and the car got 45,000 miles on it. They made so much money that they could give a good deal on that car because they made so much money. Again, just hear me out. If they might charge $500 a week, but if you bought the car, you would have paid $250 a month. So just look at how much money they're making on that car. It's crazy. So they made enough money, like Gamefly. Gamefly, people rent it, send it back, rent it, send it back. They made so much money on that one disc. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've become that gamer where I don't want to rent anymore, because I feel like the money doesn't go to the developers' pockets to actually create more established IPs and stuff like that. So I feel like it hurts the industry. Good for the consumer, but on the business side, reselling games or rental games doesn't help the industry. And that's why maybe I like the idea of maybe the developers should offer cheaper digital and cheaper cloud options that directly goes to them with a small cut to then actually selling on a store or actually selling to rental stores.
Makes sense. Now, let me read this because Sean was trying to get on. He says, so video games may go out the same way as the other physical media, but gamers as a majority are very delusional, right? No, dinosaurish. So that's why Gamefly still exists. Got it. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who are late to join the party. Gamers, man, we revolt. When I was the first person getting into digitals, my friends were like, oh no, what if Sony goes out of business? I'm like, really, bro? That's such a stretch. You're telling me I shouldn't buy a game digital because what if Sony goes out of business? Really? Now I got into cloud gaming. My friends are like, oh no, it's not ready yet. And I'm like, wow. So there is a lot of people that's just still probably renting discs, Okay, so you're spending $180 to lease PS4 games, so you can never poke fun at GFN Shadow gamers for. I'm gonna tell you the difference. For leasing, once upon a time, Shadow was $12 per month, so we were spending less than your GameFly. So here's the difference. You're spending that same amount of money or more to rent the service of just saying I have it to
Okay,
you.
I know, but that's a contradiction on your behalf because you're renting the game, but you have to buy the hardware. So it's the same.
No. Because here's the thing, right? My PlayStation 4, I done bought and paid for how many years ago?
No,
right?
but no. In the same concepts, you've had it for 18 years. So at that time, you never had a PlayStation 4 in certain instances. So what we're trying to say is, he will buy the hardware without the games, and then you would have the game without the hardware. So like, if you rented the PlayStation 5 game now, you've got the game. Look at me, I've got it for $16, but you've got no console to play it on. So I guess a lot of people, when they're arguing, they're not factoring these sort of hidden costs.
Yeah, but that would not. Why would I rent a PlayStation 5? So you're putting a strange thing on me, right? Like,
No,
it's a good.
but Xbox already cornered that market by offering. A lot of people don't want to buy consoles or games because of the price. So what we'll do is we'll give a finance option of Game Pass Ultimate, and we'll give them a new console, S or X, and they can pay it over 2-3 years to have the.
He said GFN and Shadow. He didn't say Game Pass. He said GFN and Shadow gamers, right? So what I'm saying is, when you get GFN and Shadow, you're paying that money just to have the service, and on top of that, you have to go out and buy those games full price or get a sale, right? With GameFly, those games are included in the service. So if the service is the same price, who got more value? The person who paid $180 a year, and that included how many games I got that year, or the person who spent $180 a year and still had to buy games and might have bought a couple games they didn't even like.
True.
I'm just saying.
Especially when you factor in the games that you didn't like and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, trust me. We end up buying games we don't like. Like, that's a real thing, right? That's why rental service, that's why, again, I said I'm only using it to rent games, right? I'm only, like, the longer I have a game is it's costing me money, right? Because it's $15 a month.
He shouldn't have put like GeForce Now Shadow lease, because technically speaking, if I bought PlayStation Now, or I bought Game Pass Ultimate, or I bought Stadia Pro, technically speaking, I'm only leasing the games. Because I don't own the lease, I don't own the license, and I only own the monthly sub. So,
right. But you're still getting something. So if you got, let's say you got Game Pass, right? You got all these games that you could just play, and if you canceled after 1 month, look how much value you got out of $15, right? If you got GFN or Shadow, it depends on how many games you purchased and was able to play in that month, right? So that's the way to look at it. Same thing with GameFly.
It's all the arguments in it, quality over quantity, depending on the perspective, or how money speaks to that person, I guess.
Well, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's still how many things were you able to access in that time you paid for a service, right? And how much.
But to me, sometimes it's arguable that the fact is, well, what happens if you didn't get that game in the first month because someone already locked it behind your purchase of GameFly, and then by the time you actually got the game in 2-3 months, the game was already heavily discounted on services. It's sort of a flick of the coin. I know you're getting them day one, but it actually is.
I'm not getting everything day one. Like, there's certain stuff, like somebody said the other day, why didn't you play Horizon yet or Elden Ring? I just wasn't interested. I'm not in a rush to play that game. I was in a rush to play Resident Evil. That's like since 2019, right? Those games were older, but that's what I wanted. Again, it's all interest for me. That's what I personally want to play first. It wasn't because Elden Ring's talking about Elden Ring. That didn't make me want to play it any.
Yeah, because for example, when you were telling that story that you walked out the cinema after Welcome to Raccoon City, and you wanted to play Resident Evil,
yeah.
Like, why did you rent it when at that time of rental you could have actually bought the game digitally for that price?
And I'll tell you why. As a PlayStation fan and all the Xbox guy could go crazy. You don't know how many times I played a exclusive game on PlayStation, like God of War, The Last of Us, and when I beat it, I never played it again. And I had GameFly since 2004. Do you know? I told my wife, I said because we both we're Last of Us fans. I said, I'm not buying Last of Us 2. I'm not buying it. I'm game flying it. And then you know what happened, Holtz? I ended up buying it. And you know what happened, Holtz? I beat the game and never turned it on again. That bothers me. I'm more of a multiplayer guy, but there are single player games I have to play. Whether I beat them or not, I just feel I have to play them. But then I'm losing my money because I never play them again. Now, of course, I got my enjoyment, right?
It's very, very smart. Like I said, if I was playing, this is why I don't like the likes of Stadia costs, because I feel like digital games and cloud games should be cheaper compared to the physical game. And I'm the only one that's playing Stadia, so I'm paying full price for my games. Mm-hmm. But if it was on PlayStation or Xbox, I've got friends I can game share with, and it actually heavily discounts that game. So I'm only paying like $30 for the game. Then I buy like something and bring it down. So that I justify that. But if I was just a single gamer like yourself, I think it's definitely smart to,
just
wait
rent
for
it.
the sale or rent it to actually.
Rent it, play it, beat it, send it back, get your next game. Why it's taking time for me to get my next game? I'm just playing other stuff that I already got, But coming in, guys, red hot. You know who it is, Holtz?
What time is it now? That's a lot.
Oh,
TK. The TK9, nope. Is it?
And I went to pull him in, and then he disappeared.
Is it? Wow. Was it Fat Cloud Game?
I'm pretty sure he'll come back, so I won't say it just yet. Okay. You're spending $180 to lease PS4 games, so you can never. Oh, okay, I already read that. All right. Anyway, I want to get into this whole thing. So yeah, I don't have a problem with Xbox delaying games. I think it's dumb for people using that as an argument. But I get in the console wars, there was Xbox players that would say, "No, Xbox is going to win 2022 because Starfield's coming out. So just watch." So for them, it's a big deal.
In the end, because for example, now I've not played a game on my Xbox now since I do turn it on, but I've not played an exclusive title since Halo Infinite, which was November, December.
Yep.
So to me, if I was an Xbox person, I'd be like, oh, there's nothing to actually make me turn on. I know there's loads of third-party exclusives I can play, and there's loads of advantage on Game Pass, but if I was just speaking exclusive, which exclusives usually sell consoles, that's the narrative in the marketing, then technically speaking, in 2022, there's nothing really to help Xbox to a lot of gamers, where the rivals will be like, oh, I've just played Horizon 2 months ago, I've just played it, and it feels like it's diluting the brand. But to a lot of people, of course, Game Pass can carry Xbox.
Right.
But I understand for the people who actually want the exclusives, which is a lot of people, Xbox is getting pushed now till 2023, and will their games be highlighted in the likes of Game of the Year?
Yeah, so they might not have a game in there. So Mr.
My thing is, it's Bethesda, and it's still gonna launch with bugs.
So we just need to see Bethesda make a game that's exclusive to Xbox, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm not even going to read this thing, Mr. Urban. I'm not going to go back and forth this whole thing. But Sean did say he agreed with the same. Forget GFN and Shadow. I'm getting GameFly. And I'm just saying, man, a GameFly is good awesome for me.
Cowboy, you're missing a point. Drop your referral code in.
I wish. You know what? When I start talking about it more, I check. They don't have one. They don't have a thing to let you get any type of discount or anything.
That's a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
It is definitely a kick in the teeth, man. But no, I mean, it makes sense to me. Like I said, I've been using it since 2004. So if I pull up my list, you guys will be like, oh, this guy, he game flies some bangers. Mr. said, okay, so you're basically...
And the other was like, God, he game flies a lot of crap.
Okay, so you're basically giving GameFly free money because you don't like 90% of day-and-date games. Last stream you played Resident Evil 3. How many times are you going to re-rent? I don't know what he's talking about. Do you understand what he's saying? Because I'm confused.
How many times are you going to re-rent it? Why, have you rented Resident Evil multiple times?
No. I rented Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I rented Resident Evil 3 Remake. So... But all right, this time coming in and hopefully staying in is none other than Wilson. All right, so that was fast.
he was after the 15 seconds of fame I got there at the start.
He really got a couple seconds. Talking about losing money, you sure as heck are with those free months of not renting games while GameFly still takes. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You gotta spell it out, buddy. I don't know the free months that I'm not renting game. I always have a game. Remember, that's how GameFly work.
Sean, I would love to have a family library of Stadia games, but at the moment I don't. I've only got a family library, which is my younger nieces and nephews, and I don't mind paying for Pro, and I don't mind buying games that I like, and pads the library out, as long as I can share it with family members. But I wish there was a friend that I can go to by saying, come on buddy, get on board Cloud, and we could make it cheaper, and we could sort of pad the library out together. But at the moment I don't have it yet.
Right.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the cloud infrastructure at the moment in my circle of friends.
I personally like how PlayStation does it. For me, I remember telling you that. I like that I could buy one game and then two people will play it, because my wife and I play games a lot together. So there's a couple games I had to buy 2 games on Stadia because I can't. The share isn't the same. But I do get share it with 5 other people's is a pretty cool thing to do. It just, I personally would rather just share.
What I would do, Cowboy, what I would do is, if I had 5 friends that want to play Stadia, I'll actually add you all as administrators, and then we'll just all throw $10 in a gift card pot, and then it'll just boost
that's cool.
The credit, and then we'll just buy the game, and then, like I said, if we bought every game that month for the price of 1, we could get like 5 games.
Yeah. And Evan, what I'm talking about, we brought up GFN versus Shadow just because today Shadow announced their they're revamping the service, they're adding a new tier, and so we kind of discussed that. That's why this was GFN versus Shadow.
But does it blow GFN and Stadia out the water like they say?
Does what blow GFN and Stadia out the water, Shadow?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You know what's funny? That is true. That was the word on the street. You know what? We've been real nice too, to Mr. Urban World, because he's been going on and on. We've been very nice. But no, Shadow ain't blow a damn thing out the water today.
Like I said, perspective, isn't it? It's a shame. It's a shame that he had expectations, because I was the same in certain spaces, and there was a lot of people that says, "Holtz, you're expecting too much," and I was like, "No, I'm not." For me, the infrastructure and the past games and the past features are all being amazing. I want to go full steam ahead, but a lot of people go, "It ain't gonna happen that way." You're the small minority, so I'm glad that Mr. Urbanwell put a lot of pros and cons, and he has expectations, and he's telling us the future, that the possibility of the service. But in the cloud space, I think a lot of gamers are like, no, not at the moment.
Wilson, can we hear you now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. I was having issues with my audio again. You know, I told you it kept going really quiet.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it all fixed though now.
Great. All right, cool. And then I will say this for a real certified doctor. I played Forza Horizon on xCloud, and personally, it was the best looking game I've seen in the last few years. And that was on xCloud. So I will say Forza is a pretty game. You know, I don't care too much for the game itself, but it is a pretty game. I didn't know Game Driver is still around until Cowboy mentioned it. Yep, it's still around.
Cowboy, you should be a representative of this GameFly.
Sure, man.
I was going to say to blow GFN and Stadia out the water, you would have to offer a free tier.
What would offer free tier?
To blow Stadia and GFN out the water.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well, let me say this.
Well, xCloud, listen, because xCloud's about to announce they're going to.
I think the thing is,
stream games you own for free, so that's kind of like a free tier, I guess.
Well, when we think of blowing something out the water, I think of when GFN brought the 38, right? So I'm more on the higher end, right? Not thinking, oh, if you give me something for free. No. Because I'll pay for something if I feel it blew something out the water. But
no, I feel GeForce now, why they have not announced their numbers, I feel like they've got so many millions of people on the free tier playing the likes of Fortnite than actually having the premium package. I wouldn't even say it's 50-50. I would say they've got set money to actually run their costs at the moment, but nothing really to actually boast about.
Yeah, it's
real
easier to
quick,
sign up for GFN than Stadia.
I know Mr. Urban World is trying to explain it, but can you explain Shadow real quick, Holtz?
Shadow is a virtual PC in the cloud that runs Windows 10. It has a set amount of, I think it's like 256 gigs of RAM. It offers 1 gig internet, and it's just a service where you use your local devices or your mobile devices to connect to a data center that has got that PC there, and that instance will be streamed to you, and you should be able to interact with that PC over distance with low latency, so like it feels like you actually got a PC in front of you.
Well said.
So how does that work then? You just download an app, turn
No,
on, and then from there, your computer is a beast.
Yeah, so what happened is, Wilson, so is you can, on a TV, Apple device, mobile, whatever.
Have we lost Holtz?
I think so. I looked down, and then I looked up like, oh, did he just stop talking?
He froze.
Well, in that case, I just want to say this. I think it mostly comes down to how far you're into gaming. I mean, a lot of it comes down to cost as well. That it's accessibility for some people. So some people just don't have the money for a full rig, and in that case, you want to look at a cheaper service, especially a digital service now, or one where you're renting, or where you're renting space, such as a cloud streaming service. But the more and more you get into gaming, there's more tiers of investment from what I see. I was talking to Mr. Urbanworld earlier and Holtz, and we were saying what I said, that I think it might be a good idea to get something like Shadow, especially on its full tier. It may be beneficial, say, if you're entertaining the idea of getting a rig and you want to test out what that power would be like. It just doesn't seem like a long-term solution. It seems like when you want to put a foot in the water type of thing. Do you know what I mean? But it's different levels of investment. So that's like when you think you want to start getting invested, but you're not really sure yet. You can throw 45 quid a month for a couple of months and test it out. And that's nowhere near the same price as, I don't know how much it costs to set up a rig nowadays, but you know what I mean? It's nowhere near that.
Let me read this real quick. Mr. Urban Roll, man. He said, Gamefly might not last long. Here's why. Back in 2008, revenue was 29 billion, but as of recent, under 1 million. I'd hate to see it go, though. You don't even care. Like, what do you mean you hate to see it go? Like, you, no one was even thinking about Gamefly until I mentioned it. But anyway, Evan said, I have a gaming PC myself with a Ryzen 9 5950X and a RTX 3080 Ti in it, so I don't think it's for me, but sounds like something cool anyway. Yeah, I mean, it does sound like something cool. What's going on Ready to Game in Cyborg? It does sound like something cool. So guys, I kind of went through every single thing I wanted to talk about. So the last thing I wanted to actually do, which I think would be a little special for this stream, I actually want to play a little bit of City Skyline. Is that what it's called?
City Skyline.
You bought the $200 version?
Huh?
You bought the $200 version?
$200. What are you talking about?
The City Skylines with all the DLCs. It's like $239.
Bro, this ain't even a game. This wasn't even a game on my radar. I would have never touched this game besides the fact that it's on Stadia added it to Pro. But here's the weird thing. Isn't it real weird that they added something to Pro this late and that wasn't announced?
Yeah, they also added Far Cry Primal.
Right, but that wasn't to Pro. That just came to the service. I'm just saying as far as the Pro game, right? So anyway,
it's a little bit odd. Have they never done it before? I don't think they have they?
Yeah, and not announced it. That's the thing. They've announced games. Oh, guys, look who is coming in. Let's give a good hand clap for Ray the Game and Cyborg.
Why are you going to torture your people playing City Skylines, dude.
I'm not gonna play that long.
Why are you going to torture? Because you don't know how to play it. You gotta spend hours trying to figure it out. Come on, man.
Ray, should I kick you off now or later? You let me know which one.
First of all, real quick, Shadow, I am gonna get it because I do not have a good PC. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna spend another $15 to use it, because when I was a DM and I had to travel to all the different properties, you know, I needed a computer on the go. And so, guys, I think some people confuse Shadow with GFN. They claim it's a gaming PC. It's not a gaming PC. It's a virtual PC, and I use it for my job. I mean, you can pull it on your phone, you can pull it on a tablet, and now that with the 3070 and the bumped up in the RAM, I mean, for those who don't have a PC, I mean, that's what it's for. And someone said, if you want to dip your foot in the waters, I totally agree with Wilson. But the thing about Shadow that is cool is, dude, there's no latency. I mean, it's smooth. It works. You know, my boss used to be impressed because I could pull stuff on my phone and pull up people's files, and I could do my job on the go. And I would be on the road traveling, 100 miles, going to different properties and stuff, and be gone all day and stop on the road and just pull up my phone and boom, I'm looking up stuff. So it has its pros.
And real quick, Ray, I'm gonna take your advice. And you know what? I'm not gonna play this game as part of my stream. I'm gonna make it its own stream.
So I'm looking at the specs for Shadow right now. It says AMD Epic 7543P CPU with 4 cores and 8 threads. Power of a high-end GPU ranging from undefined. What the hell does that mean? And 16 gigs of RAM.
I just had the most face palming moments. I literally was just rambling on, and because I've got Melon, my camera must have. I thought I was still live streaming, and you were all froze. And it's only when I went on my phone that I was like, "Where's Holtz gone?" And I was still interacting with the chat.
Holtz, you are crazy. And I hear what you guys like. Like I said, Shadow is expensive. Like I said, different folks for different strokes. And if you ain't got the dough and it's expensive to you, then I agree, don't get it. But for those who have like potato PCs, use it.
But it's not even telling me what kind of GPU they're working with.
Dude, I've been using I've been a Shadow user since day one, since the founder. And like I said, I get it. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
It was on the thing though. If you look it up, we watched the live event. They had a live event today, and they had a commercial that showed.
I tweeted it out, dude. I tweeted the specs out. So if you go to my Twitter page, I got the specs on there for you.
Ray got you covered.
Ray, do you use your Shadow outside of gaming?
Yes, I do. I used to. I used it for my job, because my job, before I had to go on a property, I had to look up all the specs, the money, the figures, people's hours and stuff. And so I used to use it. Like I said, for you gamers, I totally understand. It's not a gaming platform. It is a virtual computer.
So Ray, you see what Real Certified Doc said? He said, I'm worried the CPU is going to bottleneck the 3070.
The 70 ranges of like the 30 series is very well performed, so I can't see it bottlenecking. Maybe it was like the 3090, the 3080 Ti or not, maybe, but the 3070 is very a good graphics card.
Here's a question, Ray, and other guys. So we did talk a lot about Shadow. It's cool that Ray jumped in and added his point. Evan said, I recommend a Steam Deck for all interested. What's your thoughts on that, guys? Ray, I never heard you talk about the Steam Deck. What's your take on the Steam Deck?
Something that's not on my radar right now, but definitely something I would want in the future because it looks real. I mean, anything portable that you can play your games and add more games to is great. So I think the Steam Deck is pretty cool.
I like the idea of a Steam Deck, but I need the next iteration of it. I need like an OLED or a Pro version, version 2, version 3. At the moment, for me, there's just too much stuff that's like not working and it's not validated, and the performance. I mean, good to Valve, they're tweaking it all the time and it's working quite a lot. But to me, I'm like, well, I can walk around with a lot of my displays at 120 hertz or great colour contrasts on my mobile, and I'm like, well, why can't I just put clouds on that and play anywhere?
And then,
so at the moment,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Steven. Sorry.
At the moment, it's great for people who accept that 720, 1080 quality at that size. But to me, I'm like, well, I'm so used to being blown away by the likes of GFN 3080 on my screens.
And then, can I answer Real Certified Doc? He said that the CPU should be paired with a 3090 equivalent, not a 3070 equivalent. Well, hey, how about those guys that's got the 1050s, the 1080s, and the 2080s that can't play the awesome games? The games run slow because they don't have the RAMs. You got to understand, guys, there's a lot of guys that don't have the souped up super PCs. There's a lot of guys that don't have the consoles and stuff like that. So have you ever played? Can you imagine playing Cyberpunk 2077 on a 1050 or a 1080? You can't play it.
Well, you couldn't do it, could you? You just couldn't.
You can't play it. And there's a lot of guys out there like myself, man. Like my computer I got it in 2017. It has a 1050 and it has about 8 RAMs. I can't play nothing. And that's one of the reasons why I got Shadow, so I could play certain games because I had more memory. You know, these games, you need a lot of memory. So if you don't have a PC, you're screwed.
Well, GeForce Now kind of does the same thing for that.
Real quick, let me do this.
But that's a gaming rig. Like I said, I use the computer for gaming, and I use it for work, and I use it for other things.
Right.
Well, real quick, let me do this real quick, guys. I just want to give a shout out to Jeff. Jeff is in the building. Say good evening, Stadias. And Jeff is actually streaming in 4 minutes. I'm actually going to raid his channel. So if any of you guys want to go over there, you don't even have to leave. It'll pop you guys right over there right after the stream. So I'll be, we'll be ending, shortly. So
as I mentioned, the best thing about Shadow is the idea that I can take my mobile phone with me, use my data at a low bandwidth usage, and I could just let everything on Shadow side do all the heavy lifting, and all I have to do is do a HDMI out to screen, and it looks like that I've got a full PC at the palm of my hand.
My wife needed some documents and some files, and she says, "Are you at the house?" I said, "No, babe, I'm not at the house." She's like, "Damn, I really need these files." Man, I just whipped out my phone, boom, instantly.
That is cool, man.
So I'm just telling you, I get the price point, guys. I get it, but like I said, I use it for gaming, I use it for work, and I use it for because my PC sucks.
So, Mr. Urban World, I just want to put this out there. He said that's funny that Cowboy has a Steam Deck is trash video and says to use Shadow on your phone over it. Now he's like it's too expensive. That's when Shadow was $15 a month.
Yeah, I like I said, dude, I was mad. Hey, I was mad when I went from 15 to 30, but it was like, either that or just shut up and just buy another PC, which eventually I am going to do. I'm just dipping my foot in the water, folks, and having fun.
So are you happy with the extra upgrades rate, but jumping from 30 to 45?
Dude, it's $15, man. You know what? You spend that. Think about it. When I go out, I could spend $15 on a damn burger or something somewhere, dude. That's honestly, like I said, for some people, if you don't have it, don't do it.
Because what I was saying right at the start of the stream, I always factored in the price. Like, if I was going out now, because I couldn't buy a PC, I have to finance it. I couldn't just go out and buy it straight away, so I have to take a finance option. So Shadow to me is like my finance option to have the latest tech at a monthly cost, and that's how I treat my mobile phones. I use it as a tariff. I have it over 2-3 years, and then I upgrade. So that's how I'm treating this sort of virtual cloud PC.
When I take my kids and my wife to the movies, do you know how much I spend? Damn near $100 just for one effing movie.
You gotta get that movie pass, brother.
They want
You
to
gotta
see
get
it
the
in
movie
3D.
pass.
Yeah, I ran out.
Ran out of days.
Here's a question, Ray. Here's a question, Ray. What if this title of this video was Boosteroid versus Shadow?
I'm getting Boosteroid too.
No, I'm saying, is Boosteroid better?
Honestly, I can't speak on something that I haven't played, so
Okay.
I gotta try it out. I gotta try it out. And I already have it downloaded on my desktop. I'm
Oh,
just waiting for it to play it.
now they're running a discount on Boosteroid. It is now $7.49 a month.
Yeah, I mean, try like I said, guys. Don't be scared to try something. I hear, step out sometimes and just try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to. That's the thing. Monthly, you can pay monthly.
That's actually a good price right here.
The thing is, it has to have value. See, here's the problem. We get this SOS, the shiny object syndrome. We see Boosteroids coming out, and but think about it. If a week ago you didn't need Boosteroid and you didn't care to have Boosteroid, it's kind of like, how much do you really need it now, right? So we see something that's new and we want it, right? But it's like, okay, what is the service? Okay, Boosteroids is a new cloud service, and the caveat is they have a bunch of games that these other services don't have. So it's $7 something a month, good for you to be able to access games you can't get in the cloud. And maybe not, right? So then Shadow's out, right? Now Shadow has this new rig that's a 3070 and it's $45 a month, right? So if you're gonna utilize it, right, for you, right? Maybe you like the fact that you could play any game. Maybe you're like Ray, where you could use, stuff on your PC, get files. Maybe like Holt said, which was amazing, that he was like, hey, you could even go to your mother-in-law's house and still use Melon on your phone and still stream Stadia. I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that, because it's a virtual PC. But Ray killed it. Ray said it's all about what's in your pocket. We sometimes, my family's from Jamaica, so they would say, my grandma and my mom would say, don't have big eyes, right? Or don't eat with your eyes, or, you want everything you see, right? So it's like, guys, how many games are you playing anyway? How much stuff do you need to have if you can't afford it? And that's what it comes down to.
I mean, WWE 2K, I'm sorry, but I gotta play my WWE games. It ain't on Stadia. It ain't on Luna. Right. It ain't on none of these. It ain't even on, damn it, GFN. Yep. So where am I going to play it at? Well, guess what? I play that game on Shadow. I play it on Shadow. Boosteroid. And you can play it on Boosteroid. Thank you very much.
So Boosteroid has Elden Ring, Overwatch.
I mean, that's, and you don't have to take up hard drive space.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because you have to buy the game too, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to buy the game, but you don't have to download it, and you don't have to put it, take up hard drive space.
Yeah. I think what was cool with Stadia was like its own platform. So it was like the games you will purchase, you'll always be able to play on Stadia, right? And some of these other services is kind of like, well, you're purchasing it technically for a PC, but you could play it through that. So I guess it was a portal to be able to play your PC games. But for me, I feel like, well, I was never a PC gamer, so I don't want to buy a PC game. I guess that's the way my brain was looking at it. But since I'm a Stadia gamer, I didn't have a problem purchasing a game via Stadia, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Makes sense. Hey, they're getting ready to do VR too, and I know Mr. Urbanwell is excited too.
Yeah, they got a couple of games on here on Boosteroid that I have.
Well, that's the next big thing. I know Mr. Urbanwell loves his VR chat, but I'm like, imagine VR cloud, just walking around with like a light headset with no wires, no heavy visor, and it's just light with a 5G SIM card or Wi-Fi compatible, and we're just playing games with our headset.
Me and Mr. Urbanwell already talked about this, but cloud and VR combined spells the end of the world. It sounds amazing, but it really isn't that good of an idea. It's too much.
Wilson, have you ever
being sucked into technology?
Wilson, have you ever seen? Has anyone seen them like masks, air purifier masks that you can actually put on? I'm in the future. That'll be me. I'll have a pair of AR glasses or VR glasses, big chunky headset, and a big air mask, and I'll be walking around like something out of Cyberpunk, walking around the streets like.
No, that's what you look like in the virtual world, but in the real world, it'll be like Wally, and you'll just be some big oaf with no bones left because you just sat wasting away in a seat while Elon Musk's busy living in the real world.
Well, here's my thing with that though, Wilson. VR has to get games that entice me. That's my thing, right? So they have to get games. For me personally, I haven't played a VR game yet that I was like, whoa. Like I played some cool VR games, like when my wife and I went to this one arcade and played this racing game, this motorcycle game. It was really cool, right? I played the Iron Man game, which was amazing. I felt like I was flying, right? I played the Batman game before, but I haven't yet played a game where I feel like I want to, like I want to play. I'm used to playing video games all day. I haven't played a game in VR that I would say I want to do that all day.
I totally get that, but we've just stumbled into the cusp, haven't we, with listening to things like Ubisoft Scalar. This is the cloud going into another degree. And when that cloud that we're talking about, because what we're talking about is VR combining with the cloud, when that gets to that place, a game that you want is going to be on there. Do you know what I mean? Every game that you want is going to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
So Boosteroid says there isn't a free trial right now, but there will be one in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
And guys, I don't know how many of you guys can answer this question, and the answer would be yes. But wow, DJ Grunt said, "Hey Bruce, did you ever play Adventure on the Atari?" And that was one of my favorite games. You just had a little square guy, and you had a little arrow as a sword or whatever you want, spear, and you could go stab the dragons, and you had to. That was like probably the first adventure game RPG. Well, I guess it wasn't really RPG, but.
I don't even know what an Atari looks like. I've heard of it, but it's almost like Jesus. Like you've just got a picture and guess.
Yep. Oh man, Wilson. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got for today, man. I think it was really cool. We pretty much went down the list of. It started off with a GFN thing, but it was cool just to cover pretty much all the platforms. We kind of brought up each individual platform and plus and minus and blah blah blah. So
I just want to say to Mr. Abel, that's what I want to do. What he just said, he sits in VR and does language lessons. That's what I want to do. I just want to sit in VR and just be in a different place while I'm sort of.
Loved it.
It spells Wally. It just spells Wally. Just remember that movie, everyone. Remember it. That is your warning for this technology.
It's all good, man. We can't live forever. Just so you know.
Have you ever seen that
I'll be
animated
sure to kill you, Wilson.
What you said, I read.
Does anybody know what's the Boosteroid link? The American Boosteroid link? Geek asked.
Boosteroid.com.
I think CGX did a video on Boosteroid, and they put the link underneath in the description.
Oh, okay.
Wilson, there's a Netflix show called Love, Death and Robots, and it's animated like comedy gold. And there's an episode with what happens to humankind after the robots have like sort of took over, and there's an Xbox 3000 and there's stuff like that, and we're all gone, but it's just the robots that are left behind. That
sounds like that sounds accurate.
Wilson's gonna be doing virtual porn, man. Don't let him kid you, man. He gonna be doing virtual porn. All right.
Full on bodysuit and everything.
Here's the thing though. I like advancements. And personally, listen, if the robots take over to take over, I'm one of the firm believers, or not believers, but just I'm a realist, right? Like no one's getting off of this planet alive unless you go to Mars or whatever, or you're in a rocket ship and blow up. So I mean, life is life. We're here, we're gone. You just gotta live it. And if we can't be afraid to advance technology because we think they might take over and start.
We'll be all right as gamers, won't we? Right? If robots take over, we'll be like, "Don't kill us. Weren't we gentle to you? I looked after the Atari. I remember."
Yeah, right.
Kill me.
I'm like, I know what an Atari is. Get Wilson. He doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably would join the side of the robots. And
Ray will be the only human left. He'll be like, "I'm a cyborg." They'll be like, "Computing, you live."
Everything says Ray's a cyborg. They were like, "Oh, he's one of us." I'm like, "What?" They just blast me. Pew! My cowboy hat just hit the ground after I got disintegrated.
Oh man. Just
listen and mess you up if Ray actually peeled his face off and he really was a cyborg.
Do not put your 80-something-year-old father-in-law with a VR headset playing roller coasters, because my wife got really pissed off. Dude fell on the floor and almost had a heart attack.
Wow.
Well, I remember playing like the Samsung Gear, and I was so blown away watching like Circus du Soleil and stuff like that. And then when I passed it to my parents, they loved it. Then when I passed it to my young niece, she was just freaked out by people being too close. She was too immersed, where we seen the technology as being older and responsible, but to her, she couldn't difference between having the thing on and then the real world. So,
dude, I got to talk to my wife. I'm like, hey, honey, guess what, man? There was a spotlight show, and Shadow's going, $15 up. What did you say? Shadow's going, $15 up.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you want to get it, Ray, and I'm glad they offering something that you like. That's pretty cool. Do you also have the 3080 for GFN?
Yes, I do.
So let me ask you this. Why have both then? If you're going to definitely keep Shadow or upgrade, then Shadow pretty much complements that, and you could get more games. So what would be the point of keeping GFN?
Because GFN gave it to me for free.
Oh, okay. But would you pay for both?
That was the
What's that?
No, would you pay for both? Because I feel like you wouldn't. If you have Shadow and it upped their tier, right? Then it really is no point to keep GFN.
Let me tell you something, dude. There's games here and there's games there. If it's a game that I want to play with and it ain't on that platform, be damn.
No, Ray, hold up. What game is going to be on GFN that you can't play on Shadow? Hold up, I'm confused.
The PC games. A lot of PC games and stuff.
Hold up, somebody explain this to me. Wait,
no, there'll be more of a library on Shadow. What Cowboy's trying to say is, if you got full access,
because I hear what he's saying. I hear what he's saying, but the thing about it is, it's like, you still.
I think the real answer isn't it? Is like you go to GeForce Now when your Shadow's being too populated with the storage, and you're out of storage, and you go, okay, I'm gonna load GFN to play that game.
There you go. And which you can't, just so you know. Once again, it is a PC, and you can fill up the hard drive. So, and that's why. So, to your question on GFN, I can still play New World, which is huge. Lost Ark, which is huge. I can play those type of games on GFN and not fill up my Shadow. Honestly, the only game that I really play on the Shadow is my WWE, and then I think there's another game. Because it's not on GFN.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I guess
even on my
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Even on Shadow as well, you have to realize
was trying to say Shadow's going to blow everything away. But if I agreed to get Shadow, then yeah, I'd be like, I don't need nothing, right? Like if I agreed to get Shadow, like then because they could get everything, unless I want to get a subscription service that offers games, so I could get Game Pass and still play that, or xCloud and still play that via Shadow, right? That would be kind of cool.
See, nowadays, man, I mean, look at PlayStation. I mean, anybody can come out with something and boom, blow it. Like, all right, boom, we're doing this, and make a deal with somebody.
Right.
So
yeah. So let me answer Mr. Urban. He said, Cowboy, when will you get a VR headset? I'll say this. If I get a PlayStation 5, maybe I'll get a PlayStation 5 headset. Or VR, whatever it's called. The VR, PlayStation, PSVR 2. I might do that.
I'll do streams with the Cowboy if he does it, because I'll get it too.
Yeah, I might definitely get one. I mean, I think it'd be cool just to have one. Maybe I won't play it a lot, but maybe every now and then if Ray got it and some other people got it, how cool would that be for us to meet up? But I am one of these people, though. I want to get a Quest 2 now because it's kind of dated, right? And they might come out with a new one. I'm one of those people. I always get mad. Like, if I wait too long to get a PlayStation 5, I'm going to be mad, because if they come out with a PS5 Pro, like, a year later, I'm like, yo, man.
Let me tell you something. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I got the PS4, and then just in a couple of months, they came out with the PS4 Pro, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I see. That's why I usually get my systems day one, right? I like to get it, feel like I got my full use, but, Stadia just captivated me. But I don't know if I told many of y'all this. So when I called GameStop, the one by me, the one where y'all guys see me walk into, on the live stream. So I called them again, and this guy answered, and I was like, hey, what's up? This is your resident cowboy. He's like, cowboy? I was like, yeah, I came in there with the cowboy hat. He was like, oh, I would have remembered you. I wasn't here. I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. So he was like, what's up? I said, well, you know what question I'm going to ask. He was like, what question? I was like, PS5. He's like, look, bro, I got you. I said, you got me? He's like, yeah, just get a GameStop account, and I'll let you know when we get some in. I said, well, I don't want no handouts. You don't got to tell me the date. He's like, listen, life ain't fair. I was like, all right, whatever. So he's like, just come in. I asked my manager. So I went in. This was last Saturday. So when we had our Stadia event. So I went in. He went and got to talk to the manager. Said, listen, we either getting them in this weekend or next weekend. I said, okay. He said, listen, I'll call you. I said, all right. So, well, first I was messing with him. I was like, bro, I better get that email, because they said they'll email you if you get a GameStop card or membership for $15.99 or whatever it was. So he said, give me a number and I'll personally call you. I said, all right. So I might just be getting a PlayStation 5.
I would love that guy.
They're never gonna tell you when that thing comes.
I would love to hear that guy ring you back and go, "You've got the question." He goes, "Yes." And now your mama knows. I would love him to like just.
Yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, but the thing is, this is what I'm gonna do. If they got, because it's only bundles, right? I don't have a problem. The $800 isn't a problem. It's just that I don't want to pay for something I don't want to utilize. So if they have the same 2 bundles, I'll get the MLB one, right? Even though I'll never touch it, but I don't mind losing out on trading in a MLB. So I only lost that amount of money versus the one that had 2 games, and I don't want to play. I don't want to pay for either.
Well, with your waiting, Cowboy, and it might take a few more months, is there any game that you might like to buy exclusively or third party that could justify the bundle coming?
No, so the way the bundles are, they're only, so last time it was a PlayStation 5 with MLB The Show, a $50 PSN card, and a $50 GameStop card. And then the other bundle was a PlayStation 5, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7. So
if it said like an extra controller and WWE 23,
no, you'd be interested. Like, give me an extra controller, give me maybe the charging dock, like give me utilities, right? I don't want a game, because I'd just rather GameFly that game.
Cowboy, apparently the next one is going to be like a PS5 Slim.
I mean, that's a rumor, but so yeah. So if they allow me to get like an extra controller, even the headset, I really don't want a headset. I don't really use headsets, but if they did, you know what I'm saying? But don't give me a game, because I'd rather just GameFly my game. This is how much I like GameFly. I just want to rent the game, play it, beat it, and send it back. I don't like buying games and then never play them again. It just bothers me. So that's just me. So long story short, I might have a PlayStation 5 by the end of this month.
I'm surprised GameStop didn't actually say, "Go ahead, trade these games in. We'll give you a little bit of discount on an accessory."
No, they did. Yeah, they did say that. But dude, they don't get that much money, man. So I was turned off. I was like, no. But I sucked it up where if I get the bundle that has only 1 game, then I'm only going to lose money on 1 game. You know what I'm saying? Versus the bundle with 2 games and lose money on 2 games, it will bother me too much. Like, I'm not hard pressed for a PlayStation 5 that much to lose money on 2 games. 1 game, all right. If that makes sense. I really don't need one. I just feel like maybe I should get one because I think I'm going to like this new PS subscription. But also I was telling my wife, she was like, why are you getting one? I was like, it's like upgraded hardware. Like when you upgrade your TV, like, you know what? I'm going to get a new TV. Why? Because it looks better. Well, pretty much it looks better. But the PlayStation 5, they'd be like, okay, I'm just going to get it'll be like new hardware. So it's going to load games faster. The games will look better. So I'll get one just for that, you know.
You want a shiny new thing, basically. There's nothing wrong with that. You want a shiny new thing. We all like shiny new things.
Well, you know what's crazy? I didn't want one for this long. So, Wilson, I typically buy my consoles day one. I never cared until the PlayStation Spartacus update they start talking about it. And then they start talking about, PlayStation Plus, the new PlayStation Plus. Because some games you might have to download, which I probably will, right? So then if I could download them faster, allegedly, because when I tried to download a game, it wasn't fast at all. But people say it does go fast. Didn't happen for me when my nephew brought his PlayStation over.
Doesn't happen to me. I installed Horizon Forbidden West, and it took about an hour just to install it from disk. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so Yeah, all these people like, it's 5 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. Well, I don't know about that. Let me see. Each episode will be like a movie, 90 minutes. Oh, I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, guys, we'll call it there. This was a great talk. You guys, man, Ray, thanks for coming on. I know you and I haven't got to do something in a while, but you're usually always driving, but I've run my mouth so long, you finally parked and pulled over.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because Mr. Urban World said, man, get in there. So I did that for Mr. Urban World and for you.
That's cool, man.
All right.
Yeah, let's make Mr. Urban World feel good. We think Shadow is still good, Mr. Urban World.
Play what you guys want, man. Don't let nobody intimidate you.
Yep.
If you like it, play it. You know, do what you want to do. There's so many people that have their perceptions on so much stuff, but do what makes you feel good and what you can afford.
Yep.
There you go.
And that's why I don't let Purple Haze intimidate me when I'm not playing Stadia. Listen, I'm still going to play whatever. You know, or Cloudy V. No, xCloud doesn't play good. It doesn't feel like Stadia. I mean, it did for me.
Do you know what, Cowboy? Do you know what's actually funny? Because you said like there was the old Cowboy and a new Cowboy. That's how you was a year ago. You and your mum. And me and Ray, I was like, Ray's never changed his opinion. Play on multiple platforms.
No, see, the thing is, I never told people they shouldn't play other stuff. I just came at the people hard when they said, "Oh, Stadia's trash, Stadia's dumb, this and that." I retaliated.
I think with Cowboy evolving, it's like Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
Yeah, right?
He's evolved.
That's one of my favorite little sayings, though. FCat, you got any last words?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, thank you for coming on, man. I always appreciate when you jump in. You got a good, different opinion to you. You're real vocal about all the services. You give Stadia a hard time sometimes. Then you give them credit when you do. So I always like it. Wilson, what's your last words?
I think the announcement after today is exciting. It's frustrating, as we all know, that $45 or $45, but whatever it costs, that's a large amount. But for those of the people who are invested, I mean, they're invested, and as Ray says, if you want to use it, you're going to get fun out of it. So, yeah.
Nice. And then Holtz, any last words?
Yeah, I was going to. Bruce just said someone fix Holtz's headset. I always like to keep one ear open in case like someone comes in the house and like murders me or something. So, plus, when I've got 2 ear cups covered, I'm a mouth breather. You just hear me breathe heavy. So I feel like if I've got one cup off.
Holtz, even with my my Samsung headphones, these I never ever wear 2. I always only have 1 in. I never have 2 in.
And the last words before I go is be good, enjoy your life.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right, guys. Well, listen. Thank you all for being on. Thank everybody for viewing. As you know, I do a stream every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Not every day. Well, I say every day. I do a stream 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. However, tomorrow I have to cut my lawn really bad. It's really high. And what made it worse is my neighbor cut their grass. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then my next neighbor cut my grass. So now you got low grass and my high grass. So,
but the question is, Cowboy, are we going to get a vlog of it? We're going to see you.
This boosteroid is actually looking kind of a little appealing.
No, see, I vlogged cutting my grass the first time this season. So I did that like 2 months ago. Or a month ago, something like that. But I guess I can. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. Let's all, if you guys stick around, it's going to shoot you right over to Jeff. Let's check my guy Jeff out. Tomorrow, I'll try, maybe I'll just do a short stream. So maybe I'll just stream after I cut the grass, and I'll just check out City Skylines and stumble through it like Ray said I will. But I won't be a long stream, so, you know, it won't kill you guys to watch. But I'll figure it out. All right, well, with that said,
have a great week, everyone.
And now your mama knows.
Thank you. Hey, Ray, do it for me one more time, Ray.
And now your mama knows.
And now your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon.